All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to another episode of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. This week we are joined by a very special guest, Toni Breidinger. Toni, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Well, we're thankful to have you on here. I just wanted to ask straight up. We talked a little bit about it before we went live. Uh, you're going to be starting in your first race at Talladega this weekend in ARCA. What do you do to prepare for something of that size and scale of a track?
Yeah, honestly, it's hard to prepare. I feel like I learned a lot at Daytona with that being my big super speedway race, my first one. So I feel like I've learned a lot from that. So I have a lot that I can apply for Talladega from there. So I took notes from that race. And then, just talking with my team, they all have a lot of experience, which is really amazing. So I feel like I could just bounce off so many questions from them and just get a lot of knowledge from them, which is super helpful. And honestly, iRacing has been really great too.
We just all watched the iRacing Cup Series race, and it sounds like I don't sim race. I don't think either of these guys really do too much either, but it sounds like they've kind of upgraded that sort of physics model, I guess, if you will. So kind of piggybacking off that question, though, so what are your expectations for Talladega this week? I mean, that has to be daunting for a new driver, the high banks at Dega. Like, what are realistic expectations for you and your team?
Yeah, I feel like, like at Daytona, we got a top 20. So I feel like the next realistic step would be a top 15. If we can do better than that and get a top 5 or something amazing, then that would be great. That's always the goal. But for me, I feel like the biggest thing is just learning the track and improving. I'm racing on so many new tracks. This is a new car to me. So I feel like I just have a lot to learn. So for me, as long as I'm improving and not, if I make a mistake and not making that mistake twice, then I'm good. I just want to learn as much as possible.
Talk. Go ahead.
My bad, Darren. Toni, this weekend, I don't want to butcher her name, so I'm going to let you say her name. You do have a unique brand. The beauty brand is on board with you this weekend. Obviously, this is a unique brand to bring into the sport of racing. So tell us a little about them and what you hope to bring to them on the track.
Yeah, so Huda Beauty is on board for Talladega, which is really exciting. They're a beauty brand and they're also Arab owned, which is really exciting because it's Arab Awareness Month. So I'm really excited to have them on board, and it's cool because I used their makeup growing up as a teenager and I've been the biggest fan for so long. So this really is a dream come true sponsor for me. So I'm definitely excited. We're going to have an in-car camera and I just hope I can give them a bunch of exposure. And yeah, just definitely an exciting partnership. I feel like we just align so well. So it's really exciting. And then I also have Vibe Season on board this weekend, which is a jewelry brand. I always wear their jewelry all the time. It's not just because they're sponsoring me. So it's really cool to have two brands on board that I actually genuinely would really love.
So really quick, talk about the transition from USAC competition to stock car racing. They are two totally different things.
Yeah, it's really different. I almost feel like you can't take too much from the open wheel racing and apply it to stock car racing besides the typical racecraft and just getting seat time, because no matter what car you're in, seat time's always good. But yeah, they're different. These stock cars are heavy. They don't just stop like a midget would. They're just big, heavy, totally different. Sitting on the left side of the car than sitting in the center. So there's just so much and they're just bigger. So just for me, learning the spacing and knowing how close I am from other cars and my distance off the wall is just, that was a really big learning curve for me. And I'm still kind of trying to figure that out a little bit. So there's definitely big differences there.
So, there's a lot of focus on the track, but off the track, you've been just all over the place in media. And I got to ask, what's it like going on to big shows like Ellen and kind of representing the sport and going
and the
on
NASCAR Weekly Podcast?
Oh yeah,
there with Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. I feel like we've gotten a lot of exposure and just a lot of support, which is really crazy because I honestly didn't expect any of this. I just thought I was going to go into Daytona, do the race, kick off my season. But a lot of people reached out to us and we've been getting really great press. So it's been really exciting. And it's crazy, being on Ellen, that was my first real interview on TV. So that was a big one to kind of start that off. But it's all been really great, really surreal, honestly.
So for fans watching who may not be quite as familiar with how you got your start in racing, so it has to be a pretty interesting story. What drew you into the world of motorsports, and who are some key players that kind of helped you get started out?
Yeah, so basically it all started in go-karts, which I feel like was kind of how it goes for most people. But basically just one day over winter break, I was 9 years old. Me and my sister were kind of hanging out. My dad's like, hey, do you guys want to go-kart racing? And me and my sister used to play Mario Karts on the Wii, and we were like, yeah, let's do it. And we went up to Sonoma Raceway and we took a class up there. And I just remember standing over the go-kart and I'm like, this is it. I was just like staring at the frame of the chassis and just like, okay, I don't actually know what I'm doing. And I remember just getting super nervous. But then as soon as I got in the go-kart, I just like feel like just like the switch just like flipped in my mind. I just like fell in love with it. And then just from then on, me and my sister just loved it and stuck with it and kind of just led me to here.
So Toni, along with going on different shows, you're getting to meet and hang out with a bunch of celebrities. I've seen on Twitter just yesterday you were hanging out with Chad Ochocinco Johnson.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's going on there?
Yeah, so we actually did a podcast. I don't know when it's coming out, but that's going to be a good one. Those guys were really awesome. It was a really fun podcast to be on. And yeah, no, that was super cool for sure.
You know, as a Titans fan, I always used to fear facing him. He was really good back in the day.
Likewise. For you, what is the end goal? Is it to race full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series someday, or is it just to race sporadically?
Yeah, I definitely want to race full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series one day. And for me, like, I don't want to just like race in it just to race in it. I want to actually like be competitive. So for me, just to like race in it and be competitive would be my big end goal.
And I have to ask, because you're running some ARCA races this year, but you've also said the plan is to run some Truck Series races. So have there been any talks? When can we expect to possibly see you behind the wheel of a Camping World truck?
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of my call on which race I want to hop into. So I'm still trying to get a feel for what tracks I like. I don't have much experience on these bigger tracks or the 1.5 mile tracks. So I'm just trying to figure out what track I feel confident, especially with no practice. I just want to make sure when I actually go out there and do it, I can be confident, actually run well and not just run the race just to do it.
Absolutely.
So what are the odds of you jumping in the truck for Knoxville, if any chance?
Oh gosh, that would be cool. I don't know about that one. But yeah, I've been trying to just talk to other drivers that have gone through trucks before and trying to ask them like, okay, what tracks did you like? Which ones were like the more difficult ones? And I've been surprised by some of the answers.
Maybe something that might dive into more some of the tracks that you've raced in already. You've had some experience in late models, experience in ARCA. So maybe a Bristol in the night race might make sense.
Yeah, Bristol would be cool. I've heard that the short tracks are more difficult in the tracks than the big tracks. I'm like, well, do I want to run a big track even though I have less experience? So I'm like, I don't know. So I'll kind of get a feel for a few more races in the ARCA series and kind of see and go from there.
Was Daytona earlier this year, was that your first experience at anything bigger than like a short track?
Yeah, pretty much. I did run, I ran Chicago and Gateway back in 2018, but Daytona was my first big track and like really getting a feel for drafting and everything. So it was an experience for sure.
Now, when you do make your Truck Series debut, like what are the relative expectations? I know everybody wants to win, but realistically, what are they?
I think when I make my truck debut, like I just want to finish and I don't want people to talk about me because I crashed. Like I don't want, like I'd rather just kind of fly under the radar, finish, get a top 20 and not do anything crazy to where people are talking about. I think it's kind of better to go in that way and not wreck and just have people talking about
it. NASCAR Twitter can be very brutal sometimes. Yeah, I know firsthand.
Reddit is the brutal area.
Oh yeah.
Well, Toni, we want to thank you for coming on tonight. We know you're probably really busy, got a lot going on. So just to end out, where can people find you on social media, and is there anything you want people to look out for like announcements or anything like that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm on every social media platform. I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok. It's all pretty much my name, Toni Breidinger. So if you type it in, you'll probably find me. I don't know if we've shown people, but we're going to show the car tomorrow for Talladega. I don't know if I'm in the scheme, but we're going to be announcing that.
Cool.
Exciting stuff.
Well, nice. Good. So everyone watching, make sure you look out for that. And Toni, thank you for being on tonight. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You have a good one.
Take care, Toni.
All right, looking here for all right.
Dude, it took forever.
That's all good.
Just awkward silence there.
It's all good.
It's like we always wait for the guests to always leave. Like after that, it's like, oh.
I gotta take it in my own hands there for a moment, which is all good.
It's all good.
Thank you to Toni and
Thank
her
you.
people for hooking that up with us and her team over at Young's Motorsports.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, can't wait to see how she does in the Truck Series and also this weekend in ARCA. So we'll see.
Ever since Mark Martin, I've learned to have a little cutaway screen prepared in case the guest wants to do it out.
So where do we start now? Do we start with the race this weekend, or we start with the race that just happened?
I think the chat has a. They've been commenting on me. They've been roasting me. I love it. I swear they don't like the middle part.
You look like that guy from The Office.
I like Dwight, or I've been compared to John Lennon, which is not the worst to be compared to. I've also been called Eric's brother now because of the glasses and long hair.
But his hair is way longer than mine, though. Mine reaches my upper lip. His reaches his bottom lip.
And my hair's never been that straight, and never probably will be.
That's probably for the best.
I see my hair because I'm rocking my boy Harris Lee's hat.
Yeah, I'm used to Jarrett rocking the Winston Cup Series hat.
Yeah, all the time.
Where's that? I got it on me, but I'm not gonna wear it now just because I want to mess with the chat.
Yeah, when I first jumped into the Zoom call and saw the John Lennon shroot over here, I was also a bit shocked, but I didn't dwell on it like the chat. The chat is ruthless.
My girlfriend likes it, so that's what's important, right? I guess what we can actually start with, though, racing-wise, is we can jump right on into Richmond. And you know what? I don't think there's anyone better to start us off on the review for Richmond than our resident Bowman fan, Danny.
Branston!
Let's go! Get the bulldozer started, boys!
Get in there, Bowman. Yes, Richmond's dead now. All right.
Richmond is they're going to lose a date next year. It's at the very least. It's the Bowman curse.
Hey, I got to tell you this. So Jarrett can relate to me on this, being a Dale Jr. fan. I hadn't had 3 seasons where my driver got a win in a row in a long time.
Been a minute.
I don't think I've actually ever experienced that now that I think about it.
But you know what?
3 seasons in a row, my driver got a win.
But you know what? It's a symbolic passing of the torch. Jimmy Johnson making his IndyCar debut on the same day Alex Bowman gets his first win in the 48, and the first the first official 48 win since 2017. But the 2019 Budweiser shootout too. He also took that, but we don't remember that one. Or Unlimited, wherever you call it nowadays. This
was a good racing weekend for me. I was over at Nashville Superspeedway on Saturday doing some filming there, project coming up. I got to make like 3 or 4 laps in my truck onto the Superspeedway. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that looked pretty badass. How fast did you go? How fast did you go too?
I probably got up to about 62, which even in a big giant full-size truck, it felt kind of fast.
Did you work in that high groove a bit? I hear they've been desperately trying to get the high groove to come in. That does not bode too well for next month.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Just driving my truck, it weighs itself down to the bottom on that track.
Oh, great!
Why didn't you go like 120 or 100, Danny?
Because I didn't feel like wrecking my truck.
I would take my little Kia and just like fit it in there.
Well, dude, you need to go. You need to be like what my family motto is, and I swear this is actually our family motto. Drive it like you stole it.
Hey,
dead ass serious. That's our family motto.
Drive it like I bought it and it's mine.
Well, no, man, because I even told stories about, like when we were on the dumpster fire a few weeks ago, I even told stories about how I drove it like I stole it through the back roads. But someone who did drive it like he stole it on Sunday was Alex Bowman. Eric, I want to ask you, that last restart there, when he's restarting back there, did you think Bowman was going to come up through there, or do you think it was going to be Hamlin, Logano?
I tweeted right beforehand when the caution came out. I said Bowman's got a chance. The broadcast, Gordon, Boyer, Joy, they sounded shocked that Bowman had something for the leaders. What? Like
Boyer watching this, he was paying attention to his speed. Boyer kind of saw it coming. But I'll be honest, even me, like I knew he'd been fast all day, but when I actually saw him actually get up in front of Hamlin, I was actually really shocked. I was like, wow, I can't believe he actually just pulled that off.
I didn't expect him to be that fast. He passed Hamlin in less than half a lap. I did not, as hard as it was to pass, I didn't expect it to be that easy, but I certainly thought he had a chance because all race long, all he ever was lacking was track position, man. He drove through the field better than anyone in the field, and if not for that penalty, he would have probably had the lead sooner.
He overcome, that issue in the pits, and that was huge for him, but, he's lucky he was so fast all day because it got to the point where everyone else was. There was only 12 cars on the lead lap. If it wasn't for that, it would have been a lot harder for him to come back from where he did.
But freaking Denny Hamlin, he can't catch a break, and it's also partly on him too. And even in the post race, he was just hella pissed about it too.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
He hasn't just won the most stages without a win. He's won the most stages, period, and hasn't got a win this year.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'd say overall the race though, like it got some mixed reviews, but I mean to me that's just a quintessential Richmond race. Like now granted though, like only 9 cars on the lead lap at one point I was like, I get it though, but I mean it's Richmond though. I really don't expect to, like anything too spectacular,
And I want to point this out, how wrong I was in my picks last week, because I think I had Larson for a win.
Yep.
And I had Bowman for gonna suck, actually.
I had Hamlin.
He should get negative points. Put him behind the guest pick this week, Jared.
Put him behind it.
That would require a lot of leaping. But really quick, going back to Hamlin, we alluded to it a bit earlier with him being pretty pissed, to say the least.
Yeah.
In the post-race pressers, he legit was like, he was like a pouty little kid.
It made Logano feel awkward, right? When Logano came in, he was like, "Oh, sorry, you guys had to deal with that, right, guys?" Like,
so Logano came in at the same time as Denny, and the funny part is I could see him because I had it like focused on Denny. Unfortunately, some of the files were corrupted from it, so we couldn't put it on this week. But the funny part is when Hamlin is sitting there being all pissed off, the whole time Logano's sitting there smiling. And I immediately know what Logano was thinking. He was thinking, dude, you just showed your hand already of what your weakness is.
Dude, you just showed your hand already.
I can tell. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Why, Darian? Why?
But
that's what he sounds like, man.
That's gonna be what gets Eric now.
It's just our racing.
That's what he does.
No, but Logano actually used that line. He used that line to make fun of Hamlin, and it was freaking hilarious. So Hamlin's going on. At one point, Hamlin said he was, quote, we had a better team. And when he was asked, would you rather be where Bowman is or where you guys are right now? And he said, I'd rather be where we are because we've stomped the field so far and we have a better team. And I'm just like, dude, that shot's fired at a Hendrick team.
Bro. Come on,
well, anyway,
man.
He's pouting the whole time.
Think of it like this. At the rate we're on, we might get 16 winners. Denny, I'd rather be where Bowman is.
Yeah.
Well, he'll probably be leading the points.
Yeah, he's going to lead the points. At this rate, he can take a month off and lead the points. Denny Hamlin, though, like, the numbers are insane. 8 top 5s in 9 races. Like, no, I don't blame him. Like, I understand him being pissed. I mean, I think he probably heard a lot of the criticism from people like us on Twitter that after the Bristol dirt race, him going too soft on Logano. He raced Logano very respectfully again at the end of that Richmond race. That's not what cost him. I mean, his pit crew got out to the front, but speaking of the pit crew, I mean, that's why Denny Hamlin is not wrong when he says that he's happy about where he's at. He's got the best pit crew in NASCAR. He's right now got the most consistent speed of any team in NASCAR. It doesn't matter, short track, road course, super speedway. He's at the front every single week. Like, I think about this. The Penske cars and Truex look really good at the short tracks. Truex has 2 wins, I believe, both with the 750 package, but he's been kind of on the others. Larson's been great with the 550 package. Hamlin's been great with everything. He just hasn't quite won. So I understand him being frustrated, but I also think he's right when he says, like, yeah, if I was a NASCAR driver, I'd like to be Hamlin right now. Best team, best cars, best pit crew.
But just based on the trends this season, it just sounded really, really shady in the moment. Though.
Oh no, I get no. He's certainly like it shows how bitter he is. It shows how fans. Some fans are going to look at the fact
he
that
should
they
have
won
3 wins in a row. 3 wins in a row.
Fans are going to look at the fact that he haven't won a race yet this season, and that while he is leading the points, when you look at the playoff grid, he's like 7th or something like that. People are going to look at that and say, oh, he's not having as good a season as these other guys. But I think he wants to remind everybody in his typical kind of
I'm the best. I'm the best.
Irritable Denny Hamlin way. He wants to remind everyone that they have been the best team this year. He's not wrong. If the championship race was tomorrow, I'd pick Hamlin to win the championship.
Yeah,
same.
Absolutely.
Well, what's funny is when he drops out of the call, Logano stayed in. Right? And
got to talk shit behind his back a little bit.
Oh, he did, and it was great. It was great. And so he's sitting there, and he's like, as Denny would like to quote me as saying, that's just short track racing. And I'm like,
Danny
and he's
saying that's short track racing.
And Logano doing an impression of Hamlin, who was doing an impression of Logano. Oh my goodness!
Logano.
When he said that though, I spit out my water, like because my camera was off and I was muted. I was drinking some water and he said that. I spit it out. I'm like, did he just say that? And I'm like,
listen, man. Logano's not allowed to imitate anybody when you sound like that. I'm sorry. Sorry, man.
but then one of the reporters later had asked. They said, so Denny's spotter had said that during the race that your rotors were glowing and that you seemed like you were really using up the brakes. Were you really using up the brakes, or was it just that they were really needing to pep him up? And he said, no, we weren't really using the brakes, but Denny, he seems to need to be pepped up more often than not. And I'm like,
no,
damn, he's just like poke. But
settle down there, Joey. Settle down,
dude. I can't wait because the way it feels like it's gonna go is either they're gonna be the ones fighting for the championship, or one of them is gonna be on the other end, the other's bumper at Martinsville. And I am almost sitting here hoping right now at Martinsville that Logano takes out Hamlin. I'm almost hoping for it, just to see the absolute just dumpster fire.
Dude, he would fight him, bro. He would like start fist fighting.
I would love it.
It could be great. You have to admire Joey Logano's confidence, though. That man does not care. I do respect that, though, at least. Yeah,
respect. I respect that. How's it going? 5 points. I see you in the chat. Bold.
Hey, 5 points. What's up? He looks like
a dumpster.
I was wondering why everyone was saying bald. I thought they were talking about
bold.
The reason my hair is like this is to show everyone to kind of shelter my 5 head, so that
you just rubbing his face.
They'll be shocked in 5 years when I end up bald.
Oh, not 5 years. No.
Combination of 5 points and Logano, because someone said Joey Bald Gano.
Wow.
Well, Logano has a condition though, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, looking more at what else we got from this past weekend, there were a few notable people that struggled. And the big one was Kyle Larson. I mean, he was just downright slow this entire weekend.
Terrible.
Well, not weekend, but race.
Which was surprising because of how good he had done at Martinsville.
Yeah,
he's won there in 2017. I figured he would at least get a top 10, but no. What do you finish? Like, what, 22nd, 23rd, 2 laps down?
Yeah, teach me to swap him and Bowman next time.
Yeah, but also shout out to Matty D. He was running inside the top 10 there. Finally, good to see the Wood brothers make some progress this season.
And good to see Eric Almirola get SHR's first top 10, not named Kevin Harvick. I mean, it's Harvick also blowing a tire and almost DNFing in this race, but at least Almirola got a top 10.
Did you scan the code, Eric? No,
I never did. I tried. I'm not really a Hunt Brothers pizza guy, so it's okay.
You're more
John's guy. I know.
Yeah.
Well, when I get that 25% off, it's almost worth it.
Nah, you're more of a freaking like the deep dish type pizza. I saw.
I like all types. Man. I like all types of pizza, but yes, no, that is.
But I will say this: Hunt Brothers pizza. That's literally gas station pizza. So.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with gas station pizza.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, until you're stuck in a toilet for 12 hours.
There's not a whole lot right with it either, but there's nothing wrong. That's best of both worlds.
It's perfectly mediocre. Like that's the best way.
But I like that Busch Beer isn't the only Kevin Harvick sponsor that's willing to have some fun with it, willing to have some fun with their paint schemes, throw a QR code up there. It didn't quite go as according to plan, but I don't know, maybe it was just my TV. It says it's a 4K TV.
At least they were trying to do something, trying to be interactive with their partnership deal. I like that.
Well, apparently, I didn't really pay attention. Apparently, the in-car cameras, there was better views of like the QR code that people were actually able to use, but I just I was never paying attention.
Well, also, I think that now that we're a quarter of the way into the season, I think now we can actually start looking at the playoff picture more. I think that's appropriate at this point.
Yeah, Bowman was on the bubble coming into this week, Danny. Now he is.
He's good to go.
He needed that. So I'm like, but I said it before, and I'll say it again. He's got his first this year. He has to get a second win this year, Mike.
Yeah, he does. I agree.
I has to in what way? Like, or Hendrick won't re-sign him? Like, what do you mean by has to? Like,
maybe if it's for long term.
In order for him to, I think this win helps him a lot, but to really cement his future there, a second win.
Like so far, he's just
the year that boosts him up there. He's gotten a win each year, but he needs to get more than one. This is the year he needs to get two.
Yeah, so far he's kind of like Ryan Blaney, but the difference is Ryan Blaney is way more consistently running inside the top 10 than Bowman, though, at the moment.
Every win is another year added onto his contract. 1 win, 1 year extension. 2 wins, 2-year extension.
Come on, we got to take care of Roscoe, the dog. The dog.
Imagine Harvick would never retire with how many wins he had last year.
No.
I'll tell you what, when it comes to Bowman, I said before the season, and I will stick to it even with the early season struggles, I still think it's his breakout season, personally. I think that, I think he's going to get 2 or 3 more wins this year at the speed that team's had. Even with the luck that they had being so awful, they still were in playoff contention easily. So
I know it's coming up in a few weeks, and they just announced what paint scheme he's going to be running. But the next race I've got circled for him is Darlington because of how good he ran there last year and how good the 48 car ran there last year too. I think they've got a lot of good notes to get him in contention for another win there.
And also, Hendrick Motorsports on track to having all 4 of its drivers get at least 1 win since 2007.
Up there,
Hendrick
2014,
Motorsports.
right?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
My bad.
We all forget Casey Kane actually did win that year.
Yes, I know. Dang it, he won Atlanta.
I remember
That's right.
that race.
But again, Hendrick Motorsports, they are officially back. It's awesome to see.
So looking at the playoff standings right now, I'll just read them off here. So Truex, Logano, Byron, Blaney, Larson, Bell, Bowman, and McDowell. Y'all are good.
Good to go.
So looking here, 230 points ahead of the cut line is Denny Hamlin.
Dennis.
Just a win, bro. Just
James
win.
Allen
already.
Dennis or whatever his full name is.
I want to keep this in perspective here. A full race worth of points. The most points aside from the Coke 600 you can get in a race is 60.
Mm-hmm.
This man is
the
nearly
Coke 600 is worth more. I forgot
Yes.
about that. Yeah.
This man is literally 4 races ahead of the cut line.
That's
He's
big.
good.
Holy Jesus.
Only run 9
You
races.
have to go 4 races in a row of a crash and like on the first lap to have an issue.
This man is going on easy mode on NASCAR Thunder 2004 and somehow blowing it every week.
If
Like-
he doesn't get a win by the midseason, do you think the gap would be like 600 points or something like that? 700?
It depends on who wins.
Yeah.
I'm rooting at this point for Hamlin to go winless as long as possible. I just want to see
Yeah.
second, fourth, second, third, fourth.
I keep picking him. Like I keep expecting him to break through, and he
I
keeps
just
breaking
want
my
to
heart.
see it keep happening. That'd be so funny if we're like in July and Hamlin has like 18 top 5s. But
I
no.
swear.
He's doing this the whole season so he can be the first Cup guy to win a championship without a win.
I want to see him lose the championship with an average finish of 4.3.
That would be so
Well,
heartbreaking.
To put it in perspective of how far ahead he is, the next closest guy points wise that hasn't won a race is Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is 149 points behind Hamlin.
He's fine.
So no, Chase Elliott is 81 points ahead of the cut line. So Chase Elliott is closer to the cut line than he is to Denny Hamlin.
Oh my
That's rough.
god. Danny, just win already, please. This is getting annoying.
Also, Kevin Harvick plus 69, nice.
Nice.
Brad Keselowski plus 65 over the cut line. Then you got Kyle Busch plus 41. After that, you have Austin Dillon plus 35. Then plus 18 is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Plus 10 is Kurt Busch. So obviously minus 10 would be Chris Buescher. Matt Benedetto is minus 39. Minus
Still in it.
40.
Some big gains.
He's
Minus-
still in it. Okay. I thought
Minus
he was further
40.
back.
Minus 40 is Ryan Newman. And then minus 46 is Bubba Wallace. And after that, you keep going down.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what? The SHR guys are still holding down the bottom half of the top 28 solid.
Nice.
Shout out to Chris Buescher for putting Roush Racing on his back, bringing them back to
Hey,
prominence.
where's Newman at in points, Jared? I thought
Newman's
Newman was
only
like
two. He's only 2 spots behind Buescher. He's in 19.
Yeah. Oh yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Thinking about Stewart Haas Racing, we give Briscoe a pass because it's his rookie year, but Almirola is making our attention by how much issues he keeps having in each race. Harvick is being Harvick. Harvick is having a down year for Harvick, but he's still out there.
Still good.
Where the heck is Cole Custer?
He's been very quiet. I've been asking the same question. I have no clue. And
He's doing what he did
I keep
last
expecting
year.
him to break through.
That win masked every problem that
Yeah.
that team had last year.
A lot of
And
problems.
they were a 23rd place team start
Yeah.
to finish.
Yeah. They had one good weekend and it masked an entire season of problems. So I personally am not surprised that Cole Custer's running there. The question will be, and I think this is the same with the rest of SHR, can they improve as the season goes on, or are they going to do the same path they've been doing where they just keep getting worse?
Now, I'm also very shocked about Tyler Reddick. I mean, outside of Homestead this season,
He's sophomore
nothing. Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Well, Cup wasn't the only thing racing this weekend. I think we need to cover those. And we will get to the poll after we get through everything else at the weekend. Just letting everyone know now. But, man, I did not know this until they showed the graphic. Toyota has won every single race this season in the Truck Series.
It helps that ThorSport switched to Toyota in the offseason
Yeah.
because Ben Rhodes has like 2 wins. And
That was the best
That's
move for them because I think they were always better as a Toyota team anyways.
Yeah, well, Kyle Busch Motorsports they're officially back as well, both finishing 1-2.
Where's
Right.
GMS back? That's a good point, though, Darian, because I want to note that KBM, we talked about how Eric Jones dominated, Christopher Bell dominated. And towards the end of that, that's when the spec motors came out. And you notice there's a pretty significant, suddenly KBM came back to the pack. And, sure, Todd Gillen, Harrison Burton, Christian Eckes haven't made those cars or those trucks look very special the last couple of years. And I think some of that's the driver, but a lot of that is also the truck. I will say, John Hunter Nemechek coming in and winning 2 races already, beating the boss Kyle Busch twice already this season, certainly shows you that maybe it was more driver issues the last couple of years than it was anything else. I mean, that just goes to show you John Hunter Nemechek, he's outperformed his dad's equipment for years in trucks. He wasn't great, and he was actually pretty bad in Cup last year, led the series in incidents.
Again, he racing for furniture or
Yes,
front row.
but he does now have a full year of Cup experience. That goes a long way. He's only like 23 or 24 years old, right? He's not even
very young. He's still very young.
So I think it's clear this year. You put a guy who I think it's safe to say John Hunter Nemechek is a better driver than Todd Gillen was with KBM, than Harrison Burton was at his time with KBM, than Christian Eckes was during his time with KBM. Not necessarily now. I think Harrison Burton is very good now, but John Hunter Nemechek was better with KBM than they were with KBM. And despite everyone running the same motors, those KBM trucks look tough to beat. I mean, even Chandler Smith was up front late due to pit strategy and did a great job holding on to the lead as long as he did on older tires. Even he had a decent run, but it's clear he's lagging behind Kyle Busch and John Hunter Nemechek. He's running where Harrison Burton and Todd Gillen and those guys have run the last couple of years. And makes sense. He's like 18 years old or 19 years old. I would expect him to be running worse than John Hunter Nemechek, but I just think it's clear how much of an improvement Nemechek was. KBM lost some big names this offseason, like Fugel leaving, going to Hendrick and Cup, but adding John Hunter Nemechek actually is, I think, pretty huge.
And something else that you gotta keep in mind is he's won races where Kyle was competing. He's beat Kyle in both of his wins this season. Kyle Busch has gotten a win in trucks too, right?
Yes.
One
he was the
Atlanta.
one person I've picked correctly this year.
Okay, so Kyle Busch has gotten 1 win. The other 2 races he was beat by John Hunter Nemechek and Martin Truex Jr. obviously getting the win over Bristol. It's been a great year for Kyle Busch Motorsports. But with that being said, with John Hunter getting 2 wins where Kyle was in there beating the obvious favorite, he's got real potential to win a lot of races this season. I think he could. I don't think we've seen, a truly dominating season from somebody since I'm going to say Brett Moffitt when he was in the 16 a couple of years ago. I think this could be on that kind of level for him if he keeps this up.
I just want to see, we mentioned Toyota winning all these races. Where's your GMS at? They got like 5 competitive trucks. The odds are in their favor. Where are they at? What's going on with GMS?
As good as we talk about ThorSport and Toyota, one of the things, a move that if I was someone, if I could make a move, I would put Johnny Sauter back in GMS because I feel like both have progressively gone down since that relationship went away.
Now I got to ask you guys this question: would you guys, how would you guys rate Haley Deegan's seasons in the Truck Series so far? Sorry about that.
It should be about what we should have expected, but because of who she is and who she's been portrayed to be, it is not living up to her hype.
I'm sorry, man, but some of those radio the different conversations on the radio, it reminded me of Bristol 2019 Natalie Decker. I mean, with TJ Majors especially, when he went low, 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 low. When I say go low, it means go low. I'm like, dude, that's pretty damning.
That sounded like Decker 2019, bro.
It did.
In fairness, that soundbite did not come during the wreck itself. That soundbite came, later on Channel 2. He wasn't talking to Haley Deegan. He was talking to the crew chief. But it was clear there's some frustration there.
Yeah.
You just think back to that quote with Decker. You got to start learning to listen to your spotter.
Well, here's what I want to say. I'm going to defend Deegan, and then I'm also going to criticize Deegan because I'm going to defend her. She's not Natalie Decker. Natalie Decker does not belong on a NASCAR racetrack.
Not even close. Oh, so she's racing this weekend, by the way. Just so you
know. Let's see if she betters her season best finish of last. Let's see. Now, Haley Deegan, to answer your question, I would say she's slightly underperformed this year, but I'll also say this. While she wasn't she's not as overmatched as Decker was, or as some other drivers have been in recent years. She is overmatched. Like, you listen to her radio, and I'll listen to other young drivers' radio, and she needs way more coaching than most other drivers do. And another positive to that is I'll say she really is coachable. The beginning of the race, she was driving in too deep to the corner every time. Majors was mentioning that, like, hey, you gap them on entry every time, and then you wash up the track and they get you back. So back up your entry. And she got better as the race went on. The same with every race this year, her lap times improved as the race went on. And she went from, running 25th at the beginning of the race to running 16th by the end of the race. So she is improving. She had a very important test at Charlotte, I think 2 days ago. It was I guess apparently rookies get a special test session. I
think they get extra testing.
I don't know, it was a thing, but that was huge. I think that's really important. If she had more practice, I think those first half of the race where she's overshooting the corner and stuff would not be as big of an issue. I compare this. I want to bring up something I heard Chase Briscoe tell Bob Pockris this week. We talked about SHR struggles. Pockris asked Briscoe, how much of that do you think is the young drivers like yourself not having as much experience versus the cars? And Briscoe straight up admitted, I think a lot of it is us. I think I'm the problem. He said that for the first 75% of races, he's still trying to figure out how to drive the dang car.
We need practice back in some capacity. That's a huge difference.
Haley Deegan in trucks is doing the exact same thing. I think the first 75% of the race, she's figuring it out. Now, clearly, why I say she's more overmatched than other young drivers is you have Ty Gibbs get into an Xfinity car a year younger than she is, and he goes out and wins in his first ever Xfinity race. No practice, no nothing. He goes out and wins.
And also, don't forget about Sam Mayer, too.
He ran ninth in a crappy car this week.
That was a new team. I don't know who they were.
So Sam Mayer's. So my point is, she is overmatched when compared to some of the other drivers, in her age bracket that she's going to be competing with for rides in the future. But she's coachable, which is something I don't think Natalie Decker really ever was. I just don't think she ever quite had a good enough feel of the car to ever take any of that constructive criticism and actually apply it in the moment. Deegan is able to adapt, so I will give her credit there.
Yeah, if you take her finishes without practice, you compare them to, people like a Decker, like a Danica Patrick, who had plenty of practice, plenty of chances to get to know their car. She is doing better. When you weigh it all out, she's doing better, but she would benefit a lot more with practice.
All the young drivers would benefit more. I mean, even Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Vargas even told us, man, this is hard. This is hard sometimes. I mean, he's trying his best to adapt as well.
Yeah.
So outside of trucks, we'll go back to Cup really quick, because I think we pretty much covered everything. TV ratings wise, we actually have good news.
Yes, get in there.
Fox earned a 2.0 rating and with 3.35 million viewers, most watched sporting event in the U.S. this weekend, according to Adam Stern. And I believe it's also it was better than the 2019 running of this race. Granted, that was a Saturday night. I saw it's really funny.
It was way better. It was that race had 2.7 million or something. So it was almost a million more.
Motorsports in general was up because the IndyCar had a huge jump.
Well, that was with Jimmy.
They did, yeah.
I think that's the Jimmy effect. But I got to say, and by the way, you're right, Jordan Lawson. Over 470 watching, only 167 licks. Come on, y'all, lick that like button.
Lick the like button, everybody.
But I saw it was really funny to me. I always get I get a lot of criticism from Reddit about being too negative, among other things. And they're the ones being like, sure, it was up from 2019, but it wasn't up from 2017. And people, and I'm just like,
yeah, because Dale Jr. was racing.
Yeah, and it's there's a 25% drop since then. This shows that the sport is dying, and I'm like, You realize we've stabilized since then, right? Like,
Oh, but Reddit, they're supposed to be the experts, right? And YouTubers are stupid.
but I noticed that like a lot of the fan base, even on Twitter, a lot of people are like, yeah, but and it's like, okay, we got to take the wins where we can get them when it comes to ratings, right
come
now.
on, we can celebrate a little bit.
Well, and what I've noticed, and I'm hoping that Talladega can further this. I mean, granted, we're not going to have a rain-delayed race in June with it. Also, we're not probably going to be in the middle of the headlines in America in the next couple of days.
I think that helped last year's ratings. That's
Yeah.
not live.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Oh,
I will give the benefit
yeah.
there to last year's race, but I will say I've noticed the trend has been we've gotten the gap closer and closer every week when it comes to being down to flat mostly, now and closer to that. So I'm hoping that we stabilize into the summer so we can start building on that come playoff time. But no, I am pleasantly surprised with it because I even thought that it wasn't going to be a 2.0. Like that number was what surprised me more than the viewership. So that made me happy. That made me really happy.
Especially considering there was a Formula One race in the morning that I saw was like the second.
That was an amazing race, by the way.
Formula One
in
race in the U.S. at least, ever. And then there's an IndyCar race, the season opener, at almost the exact same time as the Cup race.
Blame
like it started
NBC
a little
for
after
that.
and finished a little later. Well, it sounds like it hurt IndyCar's ratings a little more than it hurt NASCAR's ratings, but certainly like that. I'm sure that. I mean, I'll admit, I stopped flipping back and forth after about 10 laps of the IndyCar race. I mostly stuck with the NASCAR race at that point after Jimmy Jam had his issues. But I think those certainly siphon viewers away from each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time for something else. One last thing about this past weekend. Darian, what time is it? What we going into right now?
The poll! The famous Iceberg poll!
All right, as we have just, at least on my studio side of it, we've just surpassed the 500 threshold. So click that like button. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Let's get to this. And I have like all these different things. So we just barely, and I mean barely, like by less than 200 votes, barely missed the all-time record. We had 13.2 thousand votes for this race.
For Richmond? Wow.
I know.
Ratings were up, polls up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Good correlation.
Which makes me really excited for Talladega this weekend. I think let's hit that 15K.
15K, yeah.
Anyway, 12% of you thought this was a great race. 46% of you. I wonder why. 46% of you thought this is a good race. 29% said average, 8% below average, 4% said bad. So we had 58% net approval. And I was looking through here. Let me double check. But for net approval, that puts us at the 58th highest race in the poll's history out of 78 races. So we're kind of in the bottom half there. And as for net negativity, that puts us tied with the fall race last year at Talladega for 25th. So it was, in the middle on that one.
Have we ever had a race that was more net negative than net positive?
I think we had plenty, yeah.
Not many, actually. The first one was Pocono 2019.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible. The first one before the PJ won, that was terrible.
Yeah, they had a 13%. They had 13% positive versus 43% negative.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nasty.
Also, the finale in 2019 was pretty badly viewed, as was Atlanta.
Damn, in 2019. Yeah. I mean, we were there. We were there though.
I remember thinking it was a decent race.
I thought it was
championship four slicing. Like I remember, there's they would pass. They take turns. Like Kyle Busch would pass Truex, and then Truex would get him back. I'm like, this is good.
I think it's mostly because the championship was pretty much decided with 30 laps to go because Kyle Busch was already out front. There was no catching him, so maybe that's why.
It was on pit strategy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was Kyle Busch winning.
Yeah,
let's be real. Like it was Kyle Busch winning. And who was his next closest competition?
Wasn't it Harvick? Yeah, it was Harvick, and he was
so
5 seconds back. But hey, at least the burnout was cool though. It was cool seeing it in person.
I didn't get the standing. I kept getting my view blocked. People pushed me off the wall.
Well, going back to Richmond though, to the present. This was the second of 4 Richmond races with the poll, second ranked one. The top one was 2019 Richmond Spring at 68%. And then looking through here, we have had 13 short track races with the poll, and this one ranks 10th. And two of the ones below it, two of the three below this one are Richmond races as well. So you got that with it. But looking at some of the comments here, we had 369.
Oh, nice.
And doing it for Dale. That's impressive.
For Dale, that's awesome.
Dale
A
69.
2-for-1. 2-for-1, son. 2-for-1.
So Caleb Leno has the top comments.
Hey, I voted someone different this week.
Finally, about
I've heard
time.
that name a lot, so I don't know.
He's usually the
That's
last comment.
He's no Denny Delivers, at least, so
Yeah.
he gets a week off.
No, Denny Delivers is actually...
Don't
he's
say
not in the top 10.
Big.
Wow,
Okay,
yeah.
what did whatever his name was, Caleb? What did he have to say?
Alex Bowman wins at Chicagoland. Chicagoland has left the NASCAR schedule. Alex Bowman wins at Auto Club. Auto Club has left the NASCAR schedule. Alex Bowman wins at Richmond. Richmond sweats nervously.
Yeah,
You're going to lose a date now, Richmond. At least one. You got to suffer.
it's gonna go to the Chicago Street Course next year.
Bowman Dozer, I hear it coming, boys.
Dozer, no. Leave Richmond alone, man.
Weather Boy says people will say a finish doesn't make a race. I agree, but it was a decent race the whole time. Was good, maybe average, and Harvick's tire bumped it into at least a good. I thought it was good without the finish.
I thought it was the whole last 70 laps, like before that caution. I thought Hamlin and Logano going back and forth was shaping up to be really, really good.
Besides the stage cautions, that was pure racing at its finest. Granted, I know 9 cars on the lead lap is not the greatest race, but that was pure racing to me.
That just takes us back to the good old days. Doesn't it?
Yeah, the good old days, the 1980s. Like, don't we want to go back to the 1980s? Oh, like some of y'all say that, right? So that's what it was like.
Let's see. Need for Speed 5353 says, I'll admit that I cried when it set in that the 48 was back in victory lane.
Yeah, we haven't
That's
even
good.
mentioned that. First time in like nearly 4 years.
Yeah,
that the 48's won a
2017.
points-paying race.
Yeah, official win 2017 in Dover. 2019, he did win the Clash. Though, but
We don't talk
nobody
about that
remembers
race. Yeah.
Nobody remembers that.
That was not a good race.
There's no ally curse. That's not a thing.
Let's see what else we got here. I'm trying to get, again, I want to get these new different people in here when we get different comments. But there's so many comments just about the 48 being in victory lane, man.
That big.
Ranting Renegade says, as a Denny Hamlin fan, I have to say, this race be so fine, then boom, Bowman.
Be so fun.
You got Bowman.
Yeah, you got Bowman for sure.
Sniperman 300X says that this was the best Richmond race I have ever seen. I became a NASCAR fan in 2018, by the way.
Oh,
That explains it. No, I'm kidding.
that explains it. Yeah, that explains it right there.
Oh, I think we know this person. Claudia Baldwin says, only voted great because of the last 10 laps. Also having a happy husband the rest of the night was a bonus too. Other than that, the race was met all day behind first and second place.
Yep.
Let's
Was that true? Happy husband?
Yeah, yeah.
Wise words from my wife. I was a very happy Danny B that night.
Ultimate 23 Dragon says, Bowman won a Richmond race. R.I.P. Richmond. And then underneath says, Richmond has another date in 2021, y'all. Bowman can't kill the track mid-season.
He's going to try.
Good
Don't
point.
underestimate him.
Yeah.
And I come into the chat and be like, you remember when a tornado hit Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Oh yeah, 2005. That's right.
You remember last year when there was a world pandemic that changed everything?
Yes.
But no,
Richmond about to be the new epicenter of this whole thing.
that's where like everyone that has COVID turns into like zombies or something. But no,
God.
I agree with Dragon on this one.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, this one's staying.
Yeah.
Downtown 1943 says, decent race overall. The last 50 laps were great, but the rest
I
was
agree. That's basically me. I 100% agree with that comment.
I like the comers and goers and the strategy.
Me
and
too.
tires.
Stage 2, the problem with Stage 2, there was like nothing.
Yeah.
Well-
I could agree with that.
But yeah, the rest of the race was fine. It was just like Stage 2, I don't remember who was out front. I believe it was probably Hamlin or Logano.
To be
And
honest, I was
only
probably
interesting thing I think was Truex was trying to work his way through the field.
Yeah, to be honest, for stage 2, I was probably tuned into the IndyCar race more during that time. To be honest.
I will say it was really cool seeing the onboard from behind Truex's car when he came back on the track and Denny Hamlin was right there. Like, I was like, Oh, that was pretty badass. Cito, that it happened like 15 years ago. A tornado did not hit Atlanta Motor Speedway this year.
Oh
everybody.
no, not this year, guys. No.
No, I'm talking like 2004,
Yeah,
2005.
2005. I think it was in the summer, I believe.
Yeah. Because but anyway, Ryan Blasey here says, "Don't let the Facebook fans see these results. My lord, it seems like every race is the worst race ever for them."
Wait, hold on. Ryan Blasey? Is that the name?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I like that name. Don't
Yeah,
like
happy
the Facebook
420.
fans.
Happy 420, guys.
With 420 coming around, remember that we should have weed sponsorships in NASCAR. I would love to be
Yes,
like, I'd love for
please.
them to be like, you need to smoke a big fat blunt in Victory Lane when you get interviewed. That's what you have to do. That would be
Snoop
funny
Dogg
as
in
hell.
Victory Lane as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious, who would be the first big driver for a sponsorship like that?
Blaney.
Ryan Blaney. Without a
Blaney,
doubt.
I have no reason to say
Blaney.
it. He just seems like, if I had to like stereotype, he seems like
Doesn't
the
he?
kind of guy.
Doesn't he own a hemp farm?
Does he? I genuinely
Does he?
don't know.
I know there was like a picture on Instagram of him at one, and I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Is he named that farm Ryan Blasey? Is that the commenter?
He should now.
All right, let's go to the last comment. I want to ask you all. So it's from someone called. Oh, I like the Droidicas. The profile picture says, "I swallowed a penny." That's his username. Positive or negative?
Oh, I
Sounds like he's having a bad day already. I'm gonna go negative.
If you got to be in a real bad place to swallow a whole ass penny, so negative.
Danny?
I said negative already.
Oh, okay. I swallowed a penny says, "This was one of the boringest races so far. All we had was Ryan Newman hit the wall. Same with Kevin Harvick. I'm happy that Alex Bowman is the track killer. I hate saying that this is a short track. It poisons the short track name."
Oh no!
That is a valid point. I will say that.
I see where he's coming from. I see it.
I just boringest.
He said boringest.
Oh man.
Word.
Well, thank you all for voting. Make sure to vote this week in the poll because, like I said, Talladega is usually a big week. I want to see if we can hit 15K. I think that's
So
a reasonable
close.
goal.
So close yet so far at the same time.
All right. Let's get to what we had a little earlier tonight, and we'll kind of speed things along here. The Pro Invitational was tonight.
Oh yeah.
What
Kalen
did-
Harvick's first race.
The Choo Choo 70. The Choo Choo 70, as I like
Rick
to
Ware
call it.
Racing domination until the end.
You damn
Yeah.
wanker.
Geico. It was sponsored by Geico. They were just driving like safe drivers. That's all.
You damn wanker. Joey Gates, you damn wanker, mate.
Clint Boyer
50
was just going out for blood in that race.
Clint Boyer is a iRacing
Menace.
bust.
He's a menace.
Bust. Oh my god.
I'm sorry,
I have to make a
but
part two.
did anyone else like find it borderline bad, but at the same time funny as hell that Boyer was sitting there making fun of being ahead of an 8-year-old?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I thought it was funny, but
You know, I got tired. I'll be honest. I've been a huge fan of these broadcasts up to this point. This was the first one where I was like, I'm getting tired of it because the jokes were all the same. Almost every joke was at Clint Boyer's expense.
Even-
Clint Boyer, the dumb redneck can't work the computer. Look
They
at Clint
even
Boyer.
recycled the Taylor Hamlin remote thing.
They recycled the Taylor Hamlin thing for like the millionth time. It was,
Make new content, Fox. We need new
so
content.
I actually appreciated Boyer being like the little childish supervillain. I tweeted a photo of the whatever the bad guy, the Robbie Rotten guy. I was like, that's who Clint Boyer is tonight. It's like, I'm gonna after the child, like arch nemesis with an 8-year-old. That's basically what it turned into.
Clenny Rotten. That's his name. Clenny Rotten.
I just thought it was funny that Keelan Harvick was allowed to race in the first place because iRacing does have a rule where it's like you have to be at least 13. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was so cool to see him race though. He did good.
It set such an I don't know. It sends a conflicting message. This whole time,
Yeah,
like iRacing
yeah.
has always been. We all know iRacing is notorious for being very protective of their brand,
Oh,
and so they're gonna let an 8-year-old race on national TV. Like
Yeah.
he ended up being fine. In fact, when he wrecked, it wasn't even his fault. Like the poor
He
kid was running
saved
at the
it.
top,
He
like-
saved it too. Good
Yeah,
for
like the
him.
kid, and they showed his reaction to getting wrecked. He was just in the
was
moment.
like,
he
yeah.
wasn't like mad or anything. So credit to him, but it could have been a disaster by putting an 8-year-old out there. It wasn't, luckily, but there was a risk. So I just think it's interesting that they try to build themselves as a hardcore simulator where only the best drivers succeed because it's like real racing. Meanwhile, here we are on FS1 watching an 8-year-old pass Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Talladega. Like, okay, iRacing, that sends mixed
And
messages.
also,
Maybe if you really dive into the rules, maybe it's be 13 to do it on your own, or have parents
have a
permission, and
supervision.
the parents right there. So
Yeah, true.
I mean, I'll be real with you, especially because I didn't get to see all of it, so I only saw like I was paying attention somewhat, getting the stream ready, whatnot. I guess hearing what you guys are saying for the most part, because again, I like I said, I saw a good part of it, but I didn't see like the first 30 or so laps. It was nice to see guys, especially from Rick Ware Racing, that usually aren't up front, actually be up there and get a little extra TV time. But I did notice, so like when I turned it on, they didn't have the running order going for a while, which I was like, okay, that's weird. And they were focused on like Chastain and the second pack, but they never stated it was the second pack. So for people coming on like me, for like 10 laps, I'm sitting there like, man, Chastain is dominating this thing, dude. Like,
And now back to the main pack.
and they're like, and this is by the, and then they're like, and back to the top 15, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, so we're not gonna and when they showed the running order, I'm like, wait, so we aren't focusing on these people who are never at the front unless they're getting lapped on lap 10? Like, come on, Fox.
I hate to be
crazy.
nitpicky about this because I understand this is not Fox's deal. It's not what they do. This is new to them as much as it is new to most all of us. It's new to the broadcasters as well. But like, this was the first race where I found myself extremely frustrated with the camera controllers. Whoever was working the cameras, I can't count the amount of times that Clint Boyer or Jeff Gordon or Mike Joy or somebody would go, "Whoa, everyone's wrecking," and literally,
I wish I could see it
later. Like, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 30 seconds later, we finally see, oh, there's Austin Dillon on the apron. Wonder how that happened. Like, just the camera operators were terrible.
The
Like,
worst
just-
one
I'll
was
cut
the
them some
last
slack.
lap. The last lap was awful.
Yeah, they didn't even know, like, Mike Joy called the winner when they were like already on the cooldown lap. Did you guys notice that?
I would
They're like,
I
here
would,
they come to the line, and it's like they already crossed the line.
like
They're
there
still
was a
coming.
horrible lag for them or something.
There was
Yeah.
some sort of delay.
That's
took
what I
place
have
there.
to think, is that it was like lagging and delaying, because like there's no way you can tell me that like Mike Joy was going to be that awful. Like, you can say what you want about Fox. Like, I can listen to both sides of it. I've been pretty critical of Fox the last couple of years. But man, like, there's no way you can convince me that Mike Joy is that unprofessional that he'd like lose track of the race.
And I give Mike Joy a ton of credit because this is new to everyone, but it's super new to Mike Joy. You think about it, he's been doing things a certain way for 50 years, and they've completely thrown a curveball at him here in the last few months. He's handled it like a champ. And, I give him a lot of credit for that. But even tonight, he was not on his game, albeit that was obviously a glitch. That was a lag. That's not on him. He was having a hard time filling some of the dead air, trying to figure out what was happening, because it sounds like they were having a hard time seeing all the cameras because whatever they were seeing was wrong as well. So all around, I hate to be nitpicky because I understand it's just a fun thing, but tonight was the first night where it was borderline unwatchable at times because they just didn't focus on the right action, and,
They've stopped caring.
it felt sloppy. All the technical difficulties can you hear us? Okay, no, we'll try again later. Can you?
Yeah,
hear
they
us?
tried. They
Nope.
tried talking to
Can you
Keelan.
hear?
They
No.
tried talking to Keelan.
The fan vote winner, Jesse Owuji.
Yes.
That's sus. That's sus right there. How did Ryan Vargas or Caruth not win the fan
Or
vote? I don't
Gregson.
get it.
It's very
Or
convenient.
Gregson.
We got a very high quality camera
and
One
a
is
working
Jesse's-
microphone for Jesse.
And
Owuji.
throughout the night,
And-
more and more
and a
military members with
base.
him.
And Jeff Gordon reading a script about how great the military. Like, I love
Yeah.
the military too. Like, heck,
Yeah.
if you want Jesse Owuji in your race, do it. But don't pretend it's a fan vote when I don't think this was a
I
fan
mean,
vote.
literally, you can look behind me. Like, there's military stuff supporting the military behind me.
yeah,
I'm
like-
not gonna be some dude who's like gonna go and hate on the military. But it's like, you're
Man.
telling me that you got this ultra good camera for iRacing standards, and then all of a sudden there's more and more throughout the night military members coming in support and
You're
stuff.
not
and I'm like,
fooling anybody.
Ever since the Oscar Mayer thing with Newman's paint scheme a couple years ago, when I hear the word fan vote, I'm just assuming it's not going to be who the fan.
It's
Stay
marketing.
away.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
It gets people talking
flag.
about it because think about this. Every time there's a fan vote on social media, say Twitter for instance, what is immediately what people do if they want somebody to win? They quote tweet it and share it with all their friends to vote for it, and then it just becomes sharing it like that. It's a beautiful way, a beautifully genius way of marketing.
This
The
takes me
only
back-
fan vote that's legitimate is our poll. The
Yes,
Yes.
poll.
yes, absolutely. It's not rigged there.
You
this
can't
takes me
rig
back
it.
to something I'm looking at right now. So Joe Gibbs Racing has a contest to pick Denny Hamlin's throwback paint.
Contest.
And first of all, Noah Sweet, his paint scheme, the throwback to Denny Hamlin's car from a few years ago, it's made it through as the one that was designed by somebody to maybe be in there. But that was just the contest to be in the contest. Now that it's in the contest, it has to go up against 3 celebrity schemes, which is Buddy Baker, Ned Jarrett, and Slick Johnson. And I'm looking at the replies to this. They're saying, pick your number, which one you like. It's pretty clear most of it is 4. So I'm going to be it's going to be very sus if anything other than 4 wins this fan vote contest.
This is
very
literally turning
suspect.
into the sus stream.
Yes,
didn't mean
the
to derail
sus
it.
stream becomes.
I was just trying to criticize their poor Zoom
It's
connection
true.
or whatever they
So
were
we
using.
just start realizing how many sus fan votes there are in NASCAR.
Like, I
Yeah,
think no
a lot.
disrespect to Jesse Iwuji. If you want Jesse Iwuji in your race, just put him in your race. Fox has that right.
Yeah,
But
we've
don't
had him
pretend
on the
it's a fan
show.
vote. The problem is you had guys campaigning that I know have a bigger audience than Jesse Iwuji does, and
Yeah.
Waste Raja and Ryan's time. You know?
Yeah.
just like don't waste our time. Don't
Come
feed us
on.
BS.
You're
like
not
that.
fooling anybody.
We could be wrong. Now he does have
There
that
might be-
military support. Maybe they sent out like a newsletter to like the entire U.S. Armed Forces saying, "Hey, vote for Jesse Iwuji,
Yeah.
please." And so maybe this was all legit, kind of. But
kind of.
I don't mean to dwell on it. It really doesn't matter. My big problem was just this broadcast was a pile of crap. Quite
It might
frankly,
be,
it was
it might be
the
internet
worst
idiots,
iRacing
we're not
race yet.
stupid.
It was the
I
worst
will-
iRacing broadcast yet.
I will say to finish out, I swear I'm not trying to become a Joey Logano fan, but the dude's funny. I'm sorry, he
You
is.
don't like
When,
him very
when he
much.
was when
No,
he
no,
was
I-
no when he was
All right, go ahead.
when they're like, yeah, well, what's it look like? What's it look like out there for the restart? And he goes, well, Chastain is on everybody's,
Yeah.
hitting on everybody, so it's pretty realistic out there. And I'm just like,
Look,
okay.
I do like Logano to an extent, but at the same time, he can be kind of a pest on the racetrack and stuff. And then when he gets out in his interviews, I like to thank my guys so much. You know, it's just like, what? I don't know.
I want
it
to
just
get him
doesn't
on
match.
just so that
I
he can
do.
rate your impersonation of him.
Yeah.
Because I feel
We'll
like
see
he'd
how it
actually
goes.
play along with it and have fun with it, honestly.
Yeah, he seems cool. Yeah, he seems like a
Logano's
cool dude.
funny, but have y'all noticed every week there's like some line someone says that just weirdly like seems to rub Logano the wrong way. Like he gets kind of oddly offended by it. This week it was when Boyer joked about him jacking up restarts, and did y'all notice Logano was like, "Oh hey now, like now, like that's." Like,
Yeah, he take the joke,
and
Joey.
it didn't,
Take the
it
joke.
didn't sound like he was smiling when he was saying like, "Oh hey now." It sounded like he was going, "Oh come on, man."
Take
like,
the
like,
joke.
He's
Boyer,
having-
I do not jack up restarts. Are you kidding me?
He's-
Except for 2015 when caused
don't
Keselowski to wreck
jack up
Kenseth, and then I
restarts.
got junked. Except for that time.
He's
I
he's
don't
having
think I
non-flashbacks.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But it's, he's done it before. I can't think of the other ones, but like every week there's something that like I don't know. It gets weird. It does get weird all of a sudden.
And
I
then
think we
and then
need
when
to
he
move
freaking
on.
laughs,
We need to
when he
move
freaking
on.
laughs though, man. One last thing, when he laughs, bro. Oh, I'm sorry. This sounds like Deegan. Never mind. I'm apologize.
Oh my god, bro.
Let's talk about something funny here. Opposite of Logano, Denny Hamlin. Did you guys see all the sticky notes that he put on his remote?
Yeah. He's like, don't touch.
There was like, okay, I'm reading them all. There's 4 that say don't touch. There's one that says grounded if you touch, no iPad if you touch, and then keep away.
There's one that didn't have any sticky notes on it. I almost tweeted like, "Hey, what's that remotely go to?" Because
I think that goes to like a Roku or something like that.
The nuclear
It's not a
codes.
TV remote.
Well, I think we should probably move on from this subject here for a moment.
congrats to who won? Keselowski. won.
Keselowski.
Yeah,
Y'all
Keselowski.
see-
After all that,
He
Keselowski.
went
Sorry.
full
Sorry, that was
NASCAR
a
heat.
boring finish. That was a
Yeah.
He went full NASCAR heat and just decided finally to just go below the yellow line and door slam Davison out of the way.
They probably would have ran a much better race on NASCAR Heat, to be honest with you. You can actually
This
like, you
looked
know,
like a
do
NASCAR
pack
heat
racing.
race. This looked like a heat race. You know,
I would-
it did all
You
around
can
the
actually
bottom.
pass on heat though. No. You can actually pass on heat though.
I
That's the thing.
guess.
The Filter Time Bash, I think, did a lot better job of putting on a good race.
Yeah, filter time bash.
And we had like 430 extra miles to do that.
I just call this thing a NASCAR heat race. There goes any chance of us getting an iRacing endorsement. Sorry, guys. That's
Yeah, we're probably going to be banned for life and then sued.
Yeah.
We're banned
I
for
tried
life.
to log in. One day I finally I'm going to start up an account, and I just nope.
Man, before you start.
We're all going to get
Preemptively
like a
banned.
cease and desist mailed to us in a pig's head and be like, stop now.
Now.
I think too many of us talked to our buddy Austin for us to be getting any kind of endorsement from them. So.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Well, moving on to something a little more positive. We do
Positive.
have a mailbag question this week, and I think this is one that's going to be fun for all of us here. So, it says from Gavin Adcock says, if you could own any NASCAR Cup Series team, what would you choose? You can pick a specific year even for these teams. For example, for him, 2014 Hendrick. What do you guys got?
This is very interesting. You know, I just did a video on these guys. Chance 2 Motorsports was my all-time favorite Busch team. It still is to this day. I would love to have owned that when Truex was winning his championships back in the day.
That's a pretty obscure one because for sure we all immediately thought of like Hendrick or a Gibbs team or something
They had
like
so
that.
many cool paint schemes though, like every single weekend it seemed like. So
I don't think I have a good one that can top that. Part of me wants to own Roush, but then we hear the stories about how stingily Jack Roush sort of operated that thing.
But you don't operate it differently, though.
I know, but I don't have deep pockets, so how am I going to expand this budget?
Well,
Like,
let's
hypothetical.
play along. Let's play along.
Hypothetical.
if that were the
Eric.
case, I would take over I'd take over Roush Fenway in the late 90s. Like, so I get like Mark Martin in his prime. I get Jeff Burton for a little bit. I get, Chad. I get Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth in their prime. Right
Oh,
there,
wait.
the rise.
What about
of
Kevin
Roush.
LePage though? Never mind. I'm thinking of the 90s. Oh yeah, this is the 90s.
What
Or
year
late-
was LePage? I was thinking I'm gonna say like 97. I get.
Yeah. He was there.
Oh,
In
well,
like 98, 99. So LePage.
Okay,
would be-
let's say 99. We'll take Roush Fenway, Roush Racing in the 99, starting in the year 99. That's what I'll do. I'll go
Yeah.
I
with.
think for me, all things
Sorry,
considered, you obviously take out what happened to the actual owner, but they had so much potential. 2001 DEI, that would be such a good team.
Good.
Mikey was coming into his prime there. Dale Jr. obviously ton of momentum, and even Steve Park still had a lot of potential then.
I'm going with 2007 Hendrick. They won 18 of the 36 races that year, 16 of them from only 2 drivers. Now, you might wonder why that year compared to 2014, and it's for this. I would basically, after the year, shoo off Casey Mears, and my team would be Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That
Right there.
would have been the true dream
It's
team
still,
right there.
it's still scary to think that they got rid of Kyle Busch.
Oh,
you know.
Well, and the story, from what I've heard, and I think Kyle Busch has talked about
it was
before.
miscommunication.
No,
basically.
well, it's that, and
right?
that Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson were really good friends with Casey Mears, so they were pushing to keep Mears instead of Kyle Busch. Because let's be real, Kyle Busch is a young guy in his 20s.
He would have given them the business there.
Terrible to work with, though.
Yeah.
He was not fun to work with.
I'm curious if M&M's would have come over to Hendrick or if they would have still followed through to Joe Gibbs.
Maybe. That is. I would love to see if somebody can make an M&M scheme with the 5 on it. That would be
I know
interesting.
Oh.
Before they officially announced their move to Toyota, there was a paint scheme reveal for Kyle Busch's 18.
It was a Chevy.
It was a Chevy body with the 18 M&Ms on it.
Yeah. That's
Well-
always a what-if car.
And think of it, you sign Kyle Busch to a 2-year deal. If he doesn't work out, you just put Brad Keselowski in that car.
Perfect situation. There you go. You can't lose. Can't lose.
Hindsight is beautiful. I'm the best car owner ever now, man.
They're just gonna invent time traveling technology, and we're good to go.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta figure out a way to off Rick Hendrick in the mid 2000s
Yeah.
and somehow hostile take over that thing and get yourself at the top of the business.
It's just crazy to me that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Teresa Earnhardt built like this dynasty in the then called NASCAR Busch Series, and then after 2005, Junior's he's just like, I don't want to work with Teresa anymore. You know, it's too much.
Now,
I don't blame him.
before we go on to the next segment, well, I'll let you know that you can be in the mailbag section as well for when we talk about it next week and beyond. Email us at weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. That is all lowercase letters, weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. That does not mean you will be a guest, but that you can at least have your comment read and heard on the stream. So
Right.
I put that in the chat earlier. I'll probably put it in the chat by the end of the night. Again,
I got it in the chat now. So
nice.
Thank you, Danny.
But moving on in the show, well, before we move on to the next segment, we have to thank one of our sponsors tonight, Lionel. Thank you for sponsoring us. The lightning round coming up is brought to you by Lionel. They're the official diecast company of NASCAR. And man, they've got some real. I mean, just like we do tonight, they have some really good and unique ones. Look out at Walmart, Target, and wherever they sell Lionel diecasts and get you some. Because
Look at the grill. Look at the grill.
I've seen they've been putting out some newer ones from like this year, for instance. So just saying, there's more coming out.
It's even got a
month.
gold. It's even got a golden exhaust too. Wow.
because of what happened this weekend, I have officially pre-ordered my 2021 Alex Bowman Richmond Raceway version.
I didn't have a car within arm's reach, so I just went with old reliable Matt Kenseth 2017 Circle K.
Even the
Phoenix win.
steering wheel moves in here. Oh, the
My-
diecast back in the day.
by the way, as the
The steering wheel
Bowman
moves.
as the Bowman
Oh,
one is
oh, yeah, that's right.
on screen right now, my dad wanted to remind me to let everybody know that he called Bowman winning with 4 to go. He called it.
Oh.
So
Go.
good job, Dad.
Good
Daddy.
job.
Good job.
Good man, because I sure didn't.
How do you guys? This is a random question. I was thinking about this the other day when I was filming something. How do you guys hold when you're like holding up your diecast to the camera? Do you hold it like this? Do you hold it like two hands? Do you hold
I
it
use
like
two
under-
hands
In
just
my
to be
palm.
safe. Just
In
to
my
be safe.
palm.
I hold two hands.
If
Two
you
hands.
balance,
I'm
thumb on
closer to Danny. Me and Danny are kind of the same.
Let me
thumb
hold
is
it with
on-
2 fingers.
Thumb is on the door, and then you got
Spin
everything
it,
else is
spin it,
under-
Darian. Do little like basketballs on your fingers.
So
No, I'm scared.
just letting you know, I've mine is a Ralph Earnhardt diecast, by the way, and we counted. It has 8 8s on it.
Eight.
Yeah,
They're
there's
all
like
over the place.
There's one right here and here and here. 2 back here that aren't
For
showing
those
up on
listening,
screen.
they're everywhere.
Wait,
Yeah,
there's how many 8s on that one?
8.
It's a shame this
I think
finish
you got
second.
8 on that one too.
I got you beat. There's
Oh no, 10
2,
probably.
4, 6, 8, and 10 on the front.
Dang.
It's a shame this scheme finished second to Tony's story. I mean,
That's a
granted,
good-looking
it was
car.
Tony's. It is. It's awesome.
Brickyard
Finished second in the
2005,
2005.
right?
2005. Yep, runner-up finish to Smoke.
Now, I don't know. Can you guys hear what's coming though?
What's
coming?
And it's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
Oh shit! I thought
Yeah,
that was
on
Bowman
top.
Dozer. Never mind.
Well, I'm watching Darian get struck by lightning here. No, now it's that was perfect. That was perfect.
Method actor.
And by the way, we'll get to super chats right after the lightning round. So just if you need to leave any, if you want to leave any, keep them coming. Go for it. And yeah, you're right, man. In the chat saying that I'm going really old school with mine. But yeah, so the lightning round this week, we got some stuff and things to talk about in here.
Thanks.
Looking at it right here, Hendrick Motorsports is in the middle of renegotiating Alex Bowman's contract extension.
Speak of the devil, Danny. Speak of the devil. A multi-year deal this time, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Isn't that what they did with Byron last year? He wins at Daytona, and then like 2 weeks later, or maybe it was less than that, they're like, "Oh, he's here for 3 more years or 2 more years, whatever
think
it was."
like-
Right?
I think
But
so.
Bowman gets away, and Rick's like, "Hey, you want to stay?"
Yeah, it's almost like, "Oh, I just realized Alex Bowman's a decent driver. I mean, maybe we should see if we want to keep him." Like,
Which something that I started thinking about. He's only like 2 more years away from being there longer than Casey Kane. So
Oh,
Dang.
that's true. Yeah, Casey Kane. Yeah, he did. Have
It
a
felt
first-
longer. It felt longer for Kane being there because he was worse at Hendrick than Bowman.
yeah, Bowman has done the opposite of Kane. Kane got
Well-
like 5 wins when he started, and then
Yeah, and then just downhill, basically.
Let's see. Justin Allgaier is throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt's Daytona 500 scheme.
The worst Daytona 500. He was pissed after that race too. That's a funny part.
Before we get to someone else's throwback, that's where Teresa went.
Yeah, freaking Teresa.
The first, yeah. The NASCAR Euro Series tested on ice, so I expect there to be a race in Antarctica in Cup in the next few years.
No, what I think is they're just going to turn Bristol into an ice rink. Bristol is just going to be that utility track.
They're going to ice skate around it.
Now it's finally got down to 55 degrees here.
Michigan on ice.
55 degrees. See, we haven't been at 55 since March.
No, sorry, that's the high.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't had a high of 55 since March.
What's the weather like out there today, Jared? What's the
awful?
Weather?
Well, it's below 40.
It's not even. That's not cool.
It's like that
High 70s today.
So I know someone will be getting ready for that.
Oh my gosh, I think Vegas was in the 80s today. So, but Jesus, Jared. Oh, I'm sorry.
I got to work on my tan, so I don't look pale.
So while Jennifer Jo Cobb won't be starting this weekend, Harrison Burton will. He's making his Cup debut at Talladega, and I believe he's the first driver ever in Cup, to be born in the 2000s. So, geez, that makes me kind of feel.
Oh, really?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I saw somebody put out a post at one point, and it made me like just stop and think for a moment. And it was like, if you're buying alcohol and they check your ID. They'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're good. And they'll be like, wow, that was really quick. And they're like, well, yeah, you were born in the 1900s.
That's what it feels like now, man.
This is for whoever is still on them, but and we'll bring it up next week just to let you know as well. NASCAR Heat 2 and 3 online servers are being shut down on April 30th. Letting you know now. Hey, I mean, I've seen people live stream from online with them, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Michael.
Wait, are the NASCAR Heat Evolution ones still up?
No. I think they're done. I
don't think
cooked.
so.
Well,
Burn them.
I'm sitting here thinking, dang, they gave them a lot less time than EA gave people. They were still playing NASCAR 09 up until like NASCAR.
Those were the days. Those were the days, bro. I miss those servers so much.
Congrats to Raja Karuth for winning back-to-back races at Hickory. That's awesome to see.
I don't know if Roger's gonna really. I don't know how far he's gonna go with NASCAR, but he's proven he's got what it takes to make a solid late model career.
And you know what? There's plenty of guys like Bubba Pollard who make a solid living racing in strictly late models. So shout out to Raja.
Went down to the Nashville Fairgrounds this weekend. There's a lot of solid racers just making their living racing late models down there.
Did you see any Karens this weekend, Danny?
The Karens were in hiding. I think they were crying.
Where are they? Yeah, probably crying. Oh, it's so loud.
Excuse
You
me.
couldn't hear them over the sound of the race cars and the happiness.
They probably called the police too, idiots. Like, oh, it's too loud. It's too loud. You know, typical Karens do. So.
Oh man. Well, anyway, F1 will be in Miami, racing around the Hard Rock Stadium starting in 2022 for a 10-year deal.
I guess.
Circuit of the Americas is in trouble. I can't remember where I saw the quote. It was from someone I think associated with Formula One, and they basically said, "Yeah, we found out that Texas doesn't really like Formula One. Apparently,
it took them. Dude, they've been racing there since 2013. It took them long enough.
Maybe not for much longer. I don't know, guys. Y'all coming down to Circuit of the Americas in a few weeks?
Yeah.
Might be the first and last time. Let's just be honest.
Oh no!
Hey, I've been on the COTA train since the start of this podcast. Hey, I gotta be there.
Let's hope the NASCAR fans turn out and turn it into a valid stock car. Like IndyCar went there in 2019 and hasn't been back since. So hopefully, there's. I don't know. That track.
Now, granted, this year's U.S. Grand Prix, it'll be the final one. And
I think they're still gonna have it next. I think they're still gonna have it next year in Austin as well.
Really?
I think
they might have two,
right? I think they're gonna have two, right? Isn't that what they want?
I have no idea. I'll be honest.
I just don't know.
They have talked about that a few years ago. I didn't really think they would do it. But
I just don't know. I don't know how long the F1 contract with COTA lasts. But if it is maybe done after this year, I have no idea. I think it lasts at least a couple more years.
But I just
worry about the track after that.
I'm gonna try and head down to Miami, beach, and then also watch some F1 racing. That'll be a great weekend.
Well, sure. Marcus Smith, when he talking about COTA, said there's going to be probably 40 to 50,000 people there. So
That'll be a pretty good crowd if they
That's
get
good.
50,000. Like the IndyCar race I went to a couple of years ago, their debut, I think they maybe got 50,000 on Sunday, the main race, maybe, but that was
It
again
certainly
no COVID.
wasn't sold out.
There
Yeah,
was
it
no
certainly
COVID
wasn't sold out,
protocols.
but
No,
yeah, it was
absolutely
good.
not.
It was
I
good.
think there was more like 30 to 40,000 fans if I
Mm-hmm.
remember actually. So
Yeah.
that's big for NASCAR if they get that.
Daytona International Speedway's Chip Weil has been promoted to NASCAR Chief Track Prosperities Officer. Frank Kelleher will be the new track president for Daytona. So
I found out recently my old next door neighbor who moved away a while. Apparently he was like really good friends with Chip Weil, and I never knew that.
Wow.
Yeah,
what are the
so
odds?
I,
Yeah, what are the
I-
odds, man?
apparently his
Small
job, he
world.
flew around a lot and met Chip Weil. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, thanks a
so much
lot.
later.
Greg Biffle was in the SRX photo shoots. So
Yeah.
they got
He's gonna win
somebody. They got somebody under the age of 60 in that thing.
He's gonna win the championship. Please run full time, Biffle, so you can win the
I
championship.
think he will. I think it'll be between him, Stewart, and Labonte. I think the stock car guys.
Wait. What about Mikey though? Mikey, he'll compete for the
take a
championship.
surprise run at them, boys. I'm here to tell you.
He's gonna win 6 for 6.
Maybe Darrell Waltrip might be closer.
I didn't hear what you said, Darian, but I'm sure you were wrong. Whatever it was.
I said he's gonna be 6 for 6.
Oh yeah, no.
DW might be able to tell Mikey some secrets about the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Want to say that contrary to reports, Dover's races this year are not canceled. That was on, I think, like Ticketmaster and stuff like that was
Yeah, there's
screwing
a
up
weird-
with it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Kurt Busch was at the Nashville Superspeedway on Monday testing. Just to let people know. So they're really going like all in on testing that. I kind of wonder if they
Like
don't
the
do that at
second-
other new tracks. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Is it
wondering
like
what the deal
second
is.
or third test there now?
Third.
I think there was even 2 tests this week.
I think even Bell was there. Yeah, Christopher Bell I think was there too. So they've been really testing it. I
There
think
was
it's
a
just
test
because
today even, I think.
I think it's just such a it's an important facility. I think they want that race to go well because they want Nashville to love NASCAR.
They really do.
Which I can tell you, that's just because I was out there a little few days ago. That track is in really good condition, actually.
I'll tell you what. I guarantee there's going to be at least one person thinking that they're like, got this, 1,000 times bigger brain energy than everybody else. It's going to be like the sound. We could hear it from the neighborhood in Nashville. The sound in Lebanon was too loud. I guarantee.
God.
Or they're going to say the super speedway was too loud, thinking that it's actually in Nashville. I guarantee there'll be at least one idiot like that.
Yeah, because they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah.
Jennifer Jo Cobb, as we said before, will not be competing in the Cup race at Talladega this Sunday and will be replaced, reportedly, by J.J. Yaley. Remember that Cody Ware is also allowed to race, but at the same
And
time,
Derek Cope also as well.
that's the one that I just Derek Cope being allowed to after 15 years just kind of throws me for
Just
a
that
loop.
sight of him coming down the back straightaway at like 15 miles an hour.
Now, to be fair, Cody Ware did at one point in last year's Talladega race, he was in the top 5. So I mean, there is some merit there, but at
Was
the
there
same
pitting
time,
and stuff at the time?
no, it was straight up. It was straight up.
I gotta ask, why was Cody Ware not in the iRacing race tonight?
Yeah, I don't know.
They
Yeah,
saw
that
him
was-
as a menace.
Well, also, James Davison was in the race too. I mean, remember Martinsville? Those two. I had it out.
I wonder
Certainly
how many
weren't gonna work
times he's
together.
called him a wanker.
Oh, like probably multiple times at this point.
Kyle Busch is running the M&M's 80th anniversary throwback, and
Looks so stupid. It's the exact same paint
Yeah.
scheme.
So
Like,
lame. So lame.
Oh, I got it. Let's change our mascots.
Dude,
now,
they basically
this
did that
one's
in
cooler.
2016, I think.
This
didn't
one's
they? Like-
yeah, the 75 car for the
Yeah.
75th year anniversary.
Yeah.
So it's funny they use the same one. We'll just change the number.
What's the number?
This one's cool though. Eric Jones is running an honorary
Mm-hmm.
scheme for the Tuskegee Airmen at Talladega
Yes.
this weekend.
yeah.
If you've never seen the movie Red Tails, watch it. Amazing movie.
It was announced that both him and their IndyCar program will be.
Yeah, Connor Daly.
So
as
in the
well.
races where Air Force is involved, it will no longer be what was it? The one Bubba was running like the Warthog.
The Warhog, yeah, the Warhog one.
Yeah, so not running that one. Running Tuskegee Airmen, which is a really nice design.
I wish
It's
they would have
nice.
done that at least once with Bubba. I think it just would have been
Yeah.
so fitting.
It
Yeah.
would have been more. I think I might have even made a comment like this. Like it's kind of odd they just lost their African American driver,
And now, they're doing the honorary Tuskegee thing, yeah.
And now I saw that also Derek Kraus, we talked about it or alluded to it earlier, is doing a Michael Waltrip throwback with the E.
So earlier, Teresa went, Now she went, yeah, this is Karen Earnhardt.
Yes, get him out of here. What is he doing? Who does he think
It's
he
a
is?
good-looking scheme, but I'd be surprised if by the time they get it to the track, if it doesn't look different, honestly.
Honestly, they should have it as a backup to run a Michael Waltrip racing throwback, like the 07 paint scheme.
NASCAR denies entry, like, hey, we don't want to get sued by the Wicked Witch of the South, so please leave. Come back another time.
Corey LaJoy is sponsored by Fox Nation at Talladega, and I'm sure people on Twitter will be very civil about it.
Wait, isn't that the freaking commercials during the races? Like canceling, cancel costs.
Yeah.
It's not quite Fox News, but it's just a mixture of things.
Those freaking commercials always get me.
LaJoy's in the most random sponsors. You see the freaking like NFL Hall of Fame or something on it at one point.
you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Hills.
Letting people know, I forgot how many it is. Let me check on Twitter really quick. But our buddy IDK decided to tweet at Marcus Lemonis.
Hey,
and
IDK!
I want to say this just for the absolute just comedy of this. But he tweeted at Marcus how many retweets for a free RV, and let me see if I can find how many.
It was a random number. It was a random number.
At this point, Marcus Lemonis is the only person related to NASCAR that I will believe when he has a fan contest at this point.
Yeah.
127,356 retweets. IDK currently has about 500, so help him if you can.
Help him if you can.
Every little bit. No, it doesn't.
That might not happen. Freaking Drive-Thru has won an RV.
Props to him, but he's in Canada, so like he has to wait. He has to wait until
beautiful tax rates up there. And then I wanted to comment on this one just because as a Vikings fan, I can make jokes about it. Former wide receiver and Jay Cutler Damage Control Improv Corner Brandon Marshall was on the Dale Jr. download this week, so that should be pretty interesting to watch.
Why?
I think it's in collaboration with I Am Athlete, their podcast, because Ocho Cinco was out there, and then some other guys were out there. So I think it's like this huge collaboration.
I just wondered if he had anything to do with NASCAR, but that's fine. I know Bubba was on their show, a few weeks back.
Yeah, they seem to be really intrigued in the world of NASCAR. So
that's good.
It's cool to see.
I just wanted to say that just because as a Vikings fan, it was so often that Brandon Marshall was their best cornerback. So
yeah, and he always defended Jay Cutler. That's my quarterback always. I'm like, why?
Yeah, but that's the lightning round this week, y'all. So, Darian, do your thing.
And once again, that was the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, back to the show.
Before we get to Super Chats, we have to thank our other sponsor. Y'all know who it is. Forney. Forney Industries.
Don't say it, Darian.
I'm not. That was a one-time thing, I promise.
They offer a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines from do-it-yourselfers all the way to professional metal workers. Forney has everything you need for your next big project. So head to ForneyInd.com or check them out at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Huge supporters of the Out of the Groove Podcast Network and the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. So go check out Forney.
I need to get Forney tools because this screw is still out of my mic. I need to screw it back on.
You'd have to you'd have to weld it back on with Forney.
Whatever it takes, Eric. It's my mic. I don't want to buy another one. It's gonna fall apart.
It's a screwdriver.
I don't have a screwdriver, man. My old roommate took them. They were his.
Darren, I'll help you out. I have a screwdriver.
My bathroom door's falling apart too at the seam.
Oh my gosh.
I'll get you a screwdriver.
I need 40 tools. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. But we do thank Forney for their support for the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, as you said earlier, Eric, we do have Super Chats. So I probably should go and read those because a lot of people left a lot of stuff. I can't wait to see how everyone bashes me.
Oh, God. Bashes. Let's see.
Okay, GP Laps for $5 says, keep doing what you do, boys. Thank you.
Thank
will do
you. Oh, wait. What was his name?
that. GP Laps.
Oh, I think he's a YouTuber. Yeah, IndyCar YouTuber, I believe. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I just subbed to him. Yep. I love his content. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Alex McLeod says, for $1.99, thoughts on Keelan Harvick iRacing the big boys? I think we covered that a bit earlier.
He did well.
He's a future Cup Series champion, a future world champion. Just off of that alone.
In the making.
Yeah, a star in the making.
Irvin Alvarado for $4.99 says, if Keelan Harvick can operate iRacing at 8, then a kid could easily drive a cup car like an iPhone. I feel old saying it. Get me AARP. I think I don't know what's going on, but I think some of the super chats got like refreshed to a different page.
You've lost some
Really?
because I remember at GP Labs and it was well into the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Is YouTube fumbling with super chats now?
Yeah.
on
So
the- Are you on that normal
Chat, we
page?
might have lost you.
Uh-oh.
so
We'll see if we can refresh it, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, if we don't read yours, I apologize. And I'll be sure to answer them after the show. In the
Yeah,
comments.
that's you. It's YouTube, by the way. It's not
YouTube.
us.
Yeah, YouTube does these every now and then. So I apologize if
Are you on the right? Whoops, throwing things around. Are you on the right, like the correct link? Like the right
the
page?
viewer activity thing. Yeah.
That's probably what it is. I don't know what it's specifically called.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but I apologize if we've lost some. A lot of them were ripping on my hair, so that's funny.
I do see a new one you just got from Josh Berry Lawn Care.
Yeah, I'll read that.
I love the
I'll
photo. Love the photo, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'll read that in a moment. Michael Mroots says 48 car, boom.
Boom.
Jordan Lawson, $2 super chat, says Keelan is performing better than SHR.
Oh God. Oh,
Damn.
Almirola, did you notice he didn't even start the race tonight?
Yeah, internet issues. DNF or
I was wondering who that
yeah,
was.
they're
And I
not
saw
sorry.
just like sitting back there.
Slappy Joe for $10 says Jarrett looking like the protagonist of the VHS video day at school where he teaches us
laughed.
about anti-bullying and more. On
I
that
laughed
note,
at that
hey, guys.
earlier.
I did too.
God.
I was thinking I belonged in a movie like American Pie or something. Philip Richards for $2 says real fan votes end up Bushy McBush race.
That is true.
That is, yeah.
Now, I can't say that one was fake.
And
that
also remember the infamous 2012 Mountain Dew name the prize game or whatever.
Yeah.
4chan. That was great. That's if you
That
don't
was
know what
good.
that one is, you got to check that one
You
out.
We're
look
not
it
gonna
up.
tell you. Just go look it up.
Yeah,
look it
trust
up.
me, it's funny as hell. GN for the $5 super chat says 1996 to 2000 Hendrick would have loved to see Labani's second title, and also my favorite driver Jeff Gordon was in his prime, and Nadu's only win.
2000. Yeah.
Dustin Thatcher. Jerry. Dustin Thatcher, thank you for the $2.99. Says trying to have Willie B's rainbow car and it blew up. Okay. Metscast says, hey Iceberg, what is your novel called?
You do look like you look like a famous author that would be signing at the back of a Barnes and Nobles. Or
Yeah,
like,
you remember
or
like,
or like the
Just go
neighborhood's
into a
best.
Random Starbucks and there's Jarrett just typing away.
Or you look like the neighborhood's best D&D dungeon master.
Oh man. Maybe next I need to try and have waves, right, Darian?
Dude, that was such a fail. Only like 1.5 in total. After months of brushing my hair, it sucked.
I think someone I recognized this super chat from earlier. I think they sent their super chat again and it disappeared.
Yeah. I got it. I'll get to it. Dustin Thatcher for $1.99 says, I always look forward to Coda for F1. Well, you probably aren't going to be able to look forward too much longer.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, for F1. Josh Berry Lawn Care and Bird Feeders says, Danny, can you do a replay of your reaction to last week's winner?
Don't have to do a replay. It's actually on my Twitter. So if you go to my Twitter,
Yeah,
you
go on to
can find it.
The Rammers line for 1,000 Costa Rican credits, I think it is, says hashtag GoFundTree. And then Dustin Thatcher for $1.99 says, mine was when you guys were talking about diecast. Well, thank you.
Oh,
And
maybe
then-
that was his super chat. Was that what he was?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And again, I apologize. For some reason,
YouTube.
YouTube let me see if I can.
YouTube has mixed priorities. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, they screw up with a lot of these. It's weird,
If you
but
go
it's never
into-
done this to me.
Yeah. I
They
don't
give
know.
us a great platform to do what we do and enjoy what we do, but they also
Yeah.
give us horrible technology to work with at times.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
said
sometimes
some-
the whole site crashes.
I
as
said
a
some
matter of
crazy
fact.
deja vu. I feel like we've had this exact moment. Even Danny looking off to the side there. That was weird. Just want to let y'all know my mind just exploded.
He is dreaming. He had some crazy dream recently or something.
I don't know
Yeah,
what's
like,
going on.
I get that
I'm
feeling.
working with 2 monitors, so if I want to really look into something, I got to look over here.
No, but I'm saying I've seen that before. Danny saying something about YouTube while looking off to the side. I gotta get a drink of water. I'm losing my mind.
He's smoking that loud, man. That's what it sounds like.
Eric, are you okay? Are you out of the groove right now?
Look
Yeah,
at
are
my
you out
hair.
of the groove?
Hair's
Yeah,
all
what's
over
up?
the damn
Oh, what's up
place.
with your hair, bro? What
I'm
happened?
losing my mind.
Just freaking crazy.
Well, thank you guys for everyone who did leave super chats, and I apologize. One more before we head out.
One more.
Josh Berry Lawn Care and Bird Feeders for $10 says, I got an email from NASCAR.com that my Chase Elliott season finale diecast got pushed back to November. Did any of you guys get delayed? Also, I don't have a Twitter, Danny.
That is surprising because I figured that'd be one of our top priorities to get that diecast out. So,
Oh, what? It got delayed? Why?
Okay,
Why did it
hold
get
up one
delayed?
second. I want to grab something. I want to show you. This
Okay.
diecast was from 2017, and my grandfather did not get this thing until 2019 summer.
Oh,
No.
no.
I do know that Lionel's recently had a shipping delay. Something.
This one.
What? He waited until
That one took
2019?
a long time for some reason.
It did.
Why?
Well, it's because it had the fan names on it. Like, my name is on the deck
Oh.
lid right under Nationwide. And then thank you, the Rammers line, for 2,500 Costa Rican credits. To clarify, we managed to get urinating tree and 5 points vids to twerk and yoga pants
No.
for charity yesterday. What?
Oh,
Is
y'all
this
did?
real?
What? No, no way.
This can't
No
be.
way.
That can't be real.
I didn't hear about it. I didn't see it.
Says
No.
if anyone wants to donate, link in the chat.
I feel like if that happened, that should have been all over Twitter. with
Yeah.
the screen recording.
Yeah, I
There's
don't.
no way.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on what I think happened. But I know someone said to spin the UFO in one of the or a few of the super chats.
So
So
at least you get that. Yeah, that's your consolation prize. Spin the-
spin it away. All right. Well,
There's not gonna be no twerking from your NWP, guys. Sorry. About
Yeah, no, sorry.
Now don't be so sure. No, I'm
That's
kidding.
after hours. bud.
This is a later stream than usual. I'm feeling
That-
a little.
Yeah.
that's for
frazzled.
channel members only.
Ah,
I'll be getting that
Patreon
out soon, by the way.
exclusive.
I'll be getting that out soon. And then Dustin Thatcher says, my name is on the passenger side of the first 8. Ralph? Okay.
Oh, nice.
Geez, everyone's putting them in right at the last second. Whiskey Foxy 31 says I've for $2 Canadian says I've got a 164 that's supposed to arrive April 22nd, 2022.
Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay,
That's
what?
like a year from tomorrow.
What the heck? Like, so yeah, it's a year.
All right, let's we'll read the rest of the super chats. Whatever ones come in after. Hopefully YouTube doesn't screw it up. But anyway.
And GP Lap said thanks, boys. So he saw it.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, of course. Yes.
Thanks, man. So last story before we get to picks and the preview for Talladega. Bob Pockris was talking about this, and there's got some mixed reactions, and I think we'll have mixed reactions on here for it. NASCAR is trying to avoid lengthy final stages now at some tracks, where there can be long green flag runs in hopes of keeping the field tight. And I want to ask you guys, Eric, I'll start with you, man. What do you think about NASCAR having this kind of goal moving forward?
I mean, we all kind of knew that was saying, kind of just speaking the truth. I mean, it's better to be upfront and honest about it. I'm sure Bob Pockris has known this for 4 years now. It's interesting that he'd only make it public now. It's weird because it's inconsistent. Like, you'd think Richmond, a track that's known for no cautions, would have evenly spread out the stages. Instead, no, stage 3 was way longer than stage 1 or 2. So it's inconsistent because there's some racetracks that do it like that, some that don't. So there's no clear correlation there. I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. Like, I do prefer when stage 3 is a little bit longer, just because then, it changes up the pit strategy at certain tracks. You know, like if you get used to like, oh, stage 1 we're gonna split in half, stage 2 we're gonna split in half, but then stage 3 it's like, oh, is this a 2-stop, a 3-stop? Like, you know, you kind of change it up. I like when the stage 3 is a little bit different, but at the same time, it doesn't really bother me when they're all kind of the same length to me. I think the motivation there is obviously, you know, fans are gonna be upset by it, but at the same time, you know, you heard criticism about 9 drivers on the lead lap at Richmond this weekend. Like, you can't please everyone. If there's 9 drivers on the lead lap, half the fans are going to complain. If there's 30 cars on the lead lap because there's a million cautions and a million wave rounds, other fans will complain. So you just can't please everyone.
Look, you can't please anybody, but at the end of the day, this is racing. This is stock car racing. You know, NASCAR races are basically marathons. You know, 500 miles, 500 laps at some places, and you know, it's one thing to basically have 2 artificial cautions to begin with anyways. But now you want to shorten the final stage? Like, this is racing, man. I love to see comers and goers here. I mean, I'm old school probably, but that's just the way racing is, you know? Like, you can only mess with it so much. So, in my opinion, just leave it alone, please. Like, you already have the 2 stage cautions already. Like, come on.
I mean, in the end, we end up getting a, you know, an exciting only 10 to go restart for the win. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't
But
know.
even stage 3 this last weekend was longer, and you had great racing, you know, between Hamlin and Logano before that caution. The caution at the end was fun because it gave Bowman, who I think was equal to the leaders, a chance to win it. But at the same time, I think the race would have played out entertainingly without a caution if it was just Hamlin versus Logano.
Yeah.
We don't need to shorten the we don't need to shorten the final stages too. Now, if they do some crap where it's like, oh, every race there will be a caution in the final 10 laps. All right, that's when
Well, that's a line
it
everyone
throws me
would
there.
draw.
Yeah,
But-
that's like no, that's it.
I'm not really a fan of it because I do like having sort of, you know, if you're gonna have cautions with stage racing, I do like having sort of a switch in mentality moving forward from the first 2 stages to the last one. So I'm the first 2 or 3 years I remember being more like, if it's a 400-mile race, there'd be like 100 laps in the first, 100 in the second, and like 200 at the end.
Right.
I like that kind of mentality with it, where the crew chiefs have to go from basically a short run strategy to then long term for the rest of the race. I think that it would honestly, I think it helps in that regard because it gives it a different. I feel like it gives a different feel to the end of the race. That and I do like having the option of having at least some fuel mileage finishes. I might be in the minority here because I know a lot of fans, at least back when these were more prevalent, hated them. But I honestly do like fuel mileage races because
Yeah, I like 'em.
I love the idea that the leader could be ahead by 20 seconds and run
lose
out of
it all.
gas, and the guy in
Done.
3rd or 4th could win. I love that. And again, it could happen with this, but they're definitely trying to change it so it couldn't, you know.
Well, it'd be less likely, which is why I agree
Yeah.
with you guys. I'd rather them do like what you said, Jared. If a 400 lap race, 100, 100, 200. I like that one stage is a little bit different, changes up the crew chiefs, can't keep calling the same cycle, same strategy. But, you know, at the same time, is it the worst thing in the world? I didn't see the report. Is this something they're planning to do for like every race next year? Because they've already kind of been doing this. Like, some races are different than others. Most races, stage 3 is longer than stage 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard. Are they going to change them all next year or something? Is that what this was about? Because if they changed every race next year to equal stage lengths all throughout, I would not support that. But I just don't think that's actually what they're doing. So I don't know how serious it is.
They haven't been specific. And it's
Yeah.
really like, I think it's through people asking Bob Pockrass more than anything. That's where I kind of get where I'm like, it's either A, they're just it's sort of just, oh well, this is kind of out in the open, we're saying it anyway, or B, getting engaged from the fans on what we're gonna do, kind of like with the number placement thing, and then just sort of getting damage control out of the way early through the media kind of thing. That's the only way I really think of it. What would be the 2 strategies here? It's either that or Bob Pockrass let the cat out of the bag early, and now the fans are having at it. But
I don't think there's any reason. I don't think NASCAR, like, I don't see from NASCAR's perspective why. So it's going to get mental math here for a second, but say it's a 300 lap race. Rather than make like stage 1 70 laps, stage 2 70 laps, then stage 3 160, like, if you divide it instead by thirds and each stage is 100 laps, is there really a difference between the final stage being 160 laps versus 100 laps? Those are both long runs.
Well, it's like what Jared said though. Like I would rather have stage 3 be the longest stage.
But I'm saying from NASCAR's perspective, and from what Bob Pockrass is saying, like, so NASCAR thinks by making the final stage 100 laps instead of 160, that's going to be wildly more entertaining. Like, no,
that's what I'm saying.
I think maybe
so
maybe the mentality is going from a 2-stop race to end it out to a 1-stop, I guess.
I don't see why, and I also don't see why NASCAR would be actively trying to get rid of fuel mileage races. I actually think that's probably one thing NASCAR regrets about stage racing at a lot of these races. Like, yeah, that's the one drawback to stage racing. Like, we wish we could get some more wild fuel mileage.
That's
racing.
what I'm saying. It's artificial enough as is. At the end of the day, this is racing. This is auto racing. Okay, there has to be some sort of strategy in play here. You know,
it's going to be artificial whether they separate each stage equally or if they not. It's all artificial. Just what some sanctioning body decides they're going to make the number. That's all artificial. But I'm with you guys. I'd rather there be variety within the stage links. But at the same time, that's why I find it hard to believe that what Bob Pockrass is tweeting is quite frankly true. I know I'm not calling Bob Pockrass a liar. But
Are you calling him a liar?
I'm like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would a slight difference in stage links really make, like, why would NASCAR think that?
Eric, you're forgetting one thing. This is NASCAR, remember?
But this isn't Brian France anymore.
This is still NASCAR.
I trusted the Steves. Steve, I trusted you.
Hey, for the most part,
you were the chosen one.
Why?
Yeah, for the most part, I think he's made the right decisions moving forward towards the future. But this, I don't agree with it.
Well, while NASCAR may need to try some things to try to, kind of manufacture some excitement, we are going to a place this week where you don't necessarily have to manufacture the excitement.
Yeah, you don't have to touch it.
It is Talladega week.
Talladega. Yeah, you don't have to basically manufacture that.
Eric Church smiles in the distance.
But in conclusion, nothing will ever beat the infamous caution clock. That is a bar.
I'm glad they recognized two things NASCAR has recognized real quick were terrible ideas. The heats in the Xfinity series and the caution clock in the truck series.
Oh yeah, worthless.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to add to that.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at some of the things in the chat here really quick. But do we have any final words here on this subject before we go on to Talladega?
I'm ready to talk about Talladega. It's one
Talladega
of the year.
Bob Pockrass, you're not a liar. I would never ever call you that.
Wait, who sung that song again, guys? Talladega. Who sung that song?
Eric Church. I just mentioned him.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I remember last year driving in and I started playing that song and I got chills. It was awesome. Plus, the place is a behemoth of a track.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's huge. But yeah, Talladega's this weekend. So let me just go through the giant ass amount of things to preview with it. All right. So the Cup race this weekend will be at Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Fox, Big Fox, not FS1. And also on MRN if you're listening on the radio in case you can't watch the race on TV. Xfinity is on Big Fox this week. That's changing it up. It's on Big Fox as well. Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, hopefully, and you'll understand why I say hopefully in a moment. Because the weather for this weekend is like Jekyll and Hyde. All right, it's ugly and nice and ugly depending how you look at it. Saturday, the weather is saying 80 degrees Fahrenheit, nice. Severe thunderstorms, 65% chance of rain. Not nice.
Clears up a little bit in the late afternoon. They might be lucky.
Well, let's hope so.
We'll see.
But,
hey, whoa, we're being positive here. Come on now.
But I mean, it's just
it's NASCAR
season,
and rain.
Yeah,
that's the
NASCAR.
problem. That's the only problem I have.
Yeah.
But I love that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it does get better. So I'm bringing it back around to positive. Looking at the forecast for Sunday, if it will pop back up for me, 73 degrees, pleasant and sunshine at the moment, according to AccuWeather, which can be reliable.
Hey, it's called AccuWeather. That's pretty accurate.
2% chance of rain.
They wouldn't be allowed to call themselves that if they weren't accurate.
But they're sometimes accurately inaccurate at the same time.
2% chance of rain Sunday. Just letting everybody know. So
2%. Oh, we're screwed.
fingers crossed.
Ah, we're screwed.
Fingers crossed.
2%.
Fingers crossed.
Please.
Might as well be 200.
Please, God, leave Talladega alone, please.
So we got that, and then for when it comes to anyone who's going to the race, for wondering about Alabama, about 20% fully vaxxed, 30% partial. So there you got that. If you're worried about that, they got limited capacity. Did anyone see what it was? I thought it was like 35, but I'm not sure. When it comes to percentage.
I didn't see.
I don't know that.
All
I would
know
guess
is that
something like
their
that.
grandstands are sold out. The only opportunity you have, if you still want to go, if they have a drive-in package and a limited garage kind of pass.
That garage experience is pretty cool if they're putting that on
Well,
this
no,
week.
Oh yeah, it's new. Isn't that
very
new?
limited. Like I read into it, you get like a picnic table or a lounge area, and you're not allowed to leave that area unless you're going to the bathroom or getting concessions.
They're
No.
strict. Like, yeah, you ain't. Nobody's
It
leaving this
doesn't
place.
sound worth it because it's like several $100s for it.
Yeah, so just
Whoa.
wait until wait until everything opens back up, guys. Wait
When I
until
went
everything
there
opens back up.
a couple of years ago, it was like $60. It was like, but no,
Well, it's like
Mine's
a
a minute.
minimum of like 4 or 5 or 6 people you got to buy for. So
all right.
Jeez. But yeah, so we got that, and then I'm gonna leave something in one of our group chats so since we don't have a guest pick so far, we didn't have. That's what we should have done. We should have asked Toni who her guest picks were. Crap.
Yeah, we should just ask her to name a random Cup Series driver.
Dang. Yeah, that's right. Well,
That's all you really gotta do at Talladega.
But yeah, I will. I'll leave that in there. I'll just gonna leave that. So as I said, we got picks coming up. Who wants to go first with picks this week? Unless
first
you want
off-
me to.
Yeah, what are the standings? Because
oh yeah.
Oh wait, we don't have a guest here. I wanted to rub it in the guest.
how about we go in order of standings for the picks?
Okay, I like that.
Well, we can't do the chat first.
Oh, yeah,
well.
true.
No.
True. Yeah.
Sure, okay, well, what's the order, Jarrett?
The chat's leading with 120 points, but don't smile too much yet in the chat because Eric and Darian are tied for second, -1 point.
Point.
I am fourth, -3 points, and Danny took a tumble, but he's only -5 points. The guests are sixth, -23.
I went from first to fifth, but if I'm only 5 points back, that's
It's
not
close. It's close. And we're going to Talladega. This is going.
We're in the championship fight. We're in the championship fight, boys. We're in it.
So where are we starting with Xfinity picks then?
Yeah.
Wait, is Xfinity running or is it trucks?
No,
I
it's
don't-
Xfinity, right?
Xfinity.
I want to
Yeah,
make
we
sure
just
because
said
they
Xfinity.
changed so much stuff up with it. So
Yeah, just change it. Just change it.
You
Really
double
quick.
check,
I
but I'm
believe
like-
it's Xfinity. I believe.
I'll pop it up right here.
And Arca as well, but that race will probably suck really bad. I mean, come on, man. It's
Tony,
so
what do you
bad.
think of the ARCA race?
I can't
She's just
stand to
gonna run
drive them.
single
They
file.
suck.
She's gonna run single file the whole time.
Oh
Poor
my God.
girl. Poor girl.
Oh yeah, okay, it is. That's what I thought.
Alright.
Okay. I
Okay.
just wanted to be sure because they changed so much stuff up. Like for instance, with the Martinsville and Richmond switching with trucks and Xfinity, I wanted to be sure.
I just thought of this. I don't know what you guys think. I can get Claudia to come in here and do picks since she's a girl and Tony was a girl.
Yeah.
That's a line
sure.
to draw.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she's just your wife. Too.
basically
the
That would
same
have been
person.
enough. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
why not?
basically the same exact person.
Yeah.
Hey,
Why
and
not?
we read Claudia's comment earlier as well, so she's basically been in the show already.
Well-
Yeah, she basically is the guest.
We got to
Yeah.
pick send in
I'll-
here for. Oh, never mind.
I'll just if you guys are cool, if I tell
Whoever gets the
Yeah,
message in first.
Yeah, just like text her, and then whoever answers first, be quickest on the draw.
Yeah.
So we'll
So
see.
so we'll start with Xfinity,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I'll go first. I want to make sure I'm double checking. So Ty Gibbs is not racing this weekend, right?
Come on, it's
No.
Talladega. It's Talladega. This
No, it's
time,
Ty
so-
Dillon. Ty Dillon's in the 54. Oh, that might be a fun pick. Too bad it's Ty Dillon. I'm gonna go with AJ Allmendinger for the win in the Xfinity race. Colleague cars are always fast. AJ's not gonna do what he did last time we were at a super. Oh, it was a road course technically. It was the Daytona road course. He's not gonna pull whatever that mess was at the end of stage one. He's gonna win this one.
I'll go second. Colleague Racing has turned themselves into the DEI of the Xfinity series back in the early 2000s. So I got to pick Justin Haley 2 in a row.
Damn it.
Yeah.
That was my pick too.
Oh, yeah, great
We're
minds
all-
second
we're
light.
Colleague all the way. What about you,
Yeah.
Danny? Going with Jeb?
It was Justin Haley.
Oh!
We're playing it safe this week.
Last week it was a bunch of different picks, and this week we're playing it safe.
Hey, I went with AJ. Watch Justin push my boy to the win.
Well, I think Claudia's gonna sit off camera, but she's here for guest pick.
So you don't have a chair for that.
Yeah, I don't have a chair over here, so.
Hi, Claudia.
Who we got
She's
for the
literally
guest pick?
standing in for the guest.
All right, who's winning for Xfinity?
I'm taking Noah Gregson.
Gregson.
Ballsy pick, yes.
Gregson, as Vince Welch would say.
Gregson!
Who we got for the chat? I
Chat
find it
looks like
funny.
it's Haley.
Somebody put Decker.
Yeah, there's a Decker or two in there. I think it's
I'm
just-
ready.
It's Haley.
Someone said it's gonna be Ty Gibbs, even when he's not racing. He's third.
So this, you know what this means is if Haley finishes ahead of y'all's picks, you're immediately at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Justin Hayden's gonna wreck on that one.
Yeah.
No.
That probably will
now.
happen.
Please.
All right.
Uh.
Next up, Cup suck pick. Who do we got?
I just throw a random name out here. Who do I feel like picking on today?
Are you serious? It's so
Eric's
lame.
doing an ASMR.
Oh,
I'll go with Denny Hamlin. I think the top 5 streak ends.
Ooh, that is bold. You ready to go back down minus 17, Eric?
Hey, yeah, these don't count for points. This is all for
yeah,
fun.
they
Right
don't
here.
count.
This is
Yeah,
just for
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
picking him to win, so I guess that's the only thing. He's not. I can't be my win pick.
Suck pick.
No.
No, we don't have it. Only for winners.
Awful.
Only for winners. Only
If
for
that was
like
the case,
the
I'd pick
finish.
Cody Ware every week. If I got
Yeah,
points
pretty
for it.
much. I think this is a safer suck pick. Kyle Busch, not having the greatest season already, and let's just be honest, his track record at Talladega, he freaking hates that place outside of spring 2008. So KFB is gonna suck.
All right. I couldn't think of one this week, so for a brief time, I'm bringing back the random number generator. Please, God, don't be 11.
That's been forever.
Here we
Oh
go.
my God! Who's in the 53 this week? This is the easiest one ever.
Is it Balicki maybe?
But is he even running? Is the 53 even running this
I don't
week?
even know if
or-
that's a car running.
Well, then what's the closest number running?
52, right? Wouldn't it be 52?
Then who's 52?
I don't know. We gotta check.
Bi-
Chat.
Bill-
Help us out.
Bilicki is the
Cody Ware
52.
by default.
Oh,
Bilicki.
Bilicki's the 50.
Josh
yeah,
Bilicki's in the 52. There's no
Okay, yeah.
53.
I'm gonna win the Cup suck pick this week. Woohoo!
Josh Bilicki.
Well done.
All right, well, in more of a realistic kind of pick here, I don't think Lightning can strike twice this season. Michael McDowell will go from hero to zero. This
Wow.
0 to 0.
Ouch. I think the chat's picked Truex to suck. I saw a ton of Truex. Like the whole chat was Truex for a second. I'm not even kidding.
Truex.
I was
Truex.
impressed. Like,
Who do you have-
Chastain.
Who do you have for the guest pick, Claudia?
For the suck,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go Harrison Burton.
Ah.
Oh,
oh yeah.
His first start.
That's just bullying the poor kid.
Damn.
He's not in a good ride.
Oh, as someone pointed out, the 53 got renumbered to the 28, so you could go with that.
Oh.
I'm not. I can't say that
It's a
Davey
Davey.
Allison
Yeah. Don't.
throwback.
It looks too
suck.
good.
Yeah.
I
don't
can't
do
say
it.
that.
Let's be real though, it's gonna run bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that to him.
Joey Gase is a really nice person, by the way. I
He
happened
is.
to meet him in 2019, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Cup dark horse picks. Here we go.
Wait, who did Jack go with again?
Truex.
I said it looked like Truex.
It was
a lot
Truex.
Truex.
Dark horse. I won't keep y'all in suspense this time. Who was I just thinking of? I had it planned. Never mind.
We're immediately in suspense now.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They've been so fast this year. Finished better, 18th or better in every race. This might be his shot to steal a playoff spot. Like, I actually think he could win. He's not my win pick, but I think he sneaks his way up there. Didn't he photo finish with Blaney here and like?
He 2020 last year, the spring race. Yep, spring
Thanks,
race.
Stenhouse.
However,
has
in
a-
the fall race, he was in the Hungry Jack pancake car and he pancaked the wall in the first lap.
Oh yeah. When it like the first 10 laps or the first 15 laps had like 4
It was like
cautions.
the
Yeah.
less than 5 laps into the race, he was pancaked into the wall in the pancake.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pretty
he's a changed man this year. He is a changed.
He's a
Man.
potential playoff contender. Danny.
He's in the playoffs right now.
Oh yeah, he's in the playoffs. Okay, never
Darren,
mind.
who you got as a dark horse?
I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick here. Hasn't done much all season outside of Homestead. Now is a shot. Not gonna win, but I'd say a top 3 finish this weekend. Not a top 5, top 3. Tyler Reddick.
All right, I'm going to go this guy just because Talladega is a whole different animal than the rest of the season. The dude's been really good at this track for the most part in the past couple of years, especially since joining this team. Eric Almirola. I think Eric Almirola is going to be the dark horse this week. And wouldn't that shake up the playoff grid if he won at Talladega?
That would. Oh my God! Everyone would be so mad.
Just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Speaking of shaking things up, again, I'm not picking him to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. He was part of some controversy here a year ago, but I'm going to put Matt DiBenedetto in as my underdog. And judging by Claudia's reaction, I think she was going the same exact way, right?
Yeah, I was going to say redemption from last year, and he hasn't been running too well.
Yeah.
Matty D!
So put me and the guest pick down for Matt DiBenedetto.
Matty D!
Got it. And
I think
who's the
the
chat
chat's
guy?
going. I think it's Bubba.
I'm seeing a
I see
ton of
Newman. I see Newman too. Stenhouse. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of Bubbas though.
It's
Hubba
Bubba.
Bubba.
It's Bubba.
Bubba Bubba. Bubba. So,
Now, Darian, what's the next one?
who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at Talladega?
Damn.
Because it's Talladega, I really want to have fun with this pick. I really, really do. And it pains me that I'm going to go with someone boring, but I think, you know what, 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars have wins this year, 2 of the 4 Gibbs cars, none of the SHR cars, but there's one Penske guy who hasn't found victory lane yet. He found the virtual version tonight, Brad Keselowski, probably the most accomplished active driver at Talladega, if I had to guess. I don't know how many wins he has there, but it's got to be more than pretty much anyone else in the field. I think Keselowski wins it tomorrow, this weekend, Sunday.
Do you have trouble saying his name?
Whenever.
It happens. Okay, so my pick. This guy has made 4 career starts at Talladega. No, excuse me. In his last 4 Talladega starts, dating back to spring 2019, 0 wins, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, an average finish of 15th, and 1 DNF. His first 2 races, 19th and 34th place finish, the 1 DNF. But the last 2 races last year, a 5th and a runner-up finish. Guys, this guy is hungry as hell to get back to a bigger team next year. Eric Jones. He gets it done. Get in there, Eric Jones. He's going to reshuffle the playoffs, man. Eric Jones brings RPM back to victory lane in the tribute paint scheme.
That's not a bad pick because I remember at the fall race last year, Bubba was up there contending and made some moves that I thought would have been close to having him in contention to win last year.
For the record, Eric Jones was going to be my fun pick, but I couldn't bring myself to do it, even though
I'm the madman. I'm crazy.
I'm almost rooting for you. I kind of want to see that.
I want to see it, especially in the Tuskegee, tribute scheme. It's perfect. Eric Jones.
I'm so conflicted right now because I want to put a fun one out there. My heart is telling me one pick and my head is telling me the other.
Go with your heart, man.
I don't know because I want to get the points lead again, and I don't trust.
We have a long season.
I don't trust him, but he was fast in Daytona. But at the same time, my head is picking someone who's fast in general, and is always fast in Daytona and Talladega.
You never know. You never know with Talladega though.
The one that my heart's picking has made so many boneheaded moves at these types of tracks.
I think I'm getting an idea of who you're thinking, maybe.
Screw it, I'm gonna do it. I'm going Bubba. I'm going Bubba.
There you go.
He's gonna shake up the playoff. I'm gonna do it. Bubba Wallace.
Do it, dude. We have a long season. I'm going Eric Jones. You're going Bubba Wallace. Let's do it. It is Talladega after all, Jared.
Hey, at the beginning of the season, I did say Eric Jones would win before Bubba Wallace, and I specifically had this race circled as his best bet, so that'll be a fun storyline.
Bubba was so fast at Daytona during Speed Weeks, though. Like, I mean, you could see it in person. I gotta think that they have something.
And he was really, like, he made a move in the fall that I thought he was about to win that race last year.
Yeah.
Right at the end of it.
I mean, he was leading with 8 to go?
It was up there.
It was like less than 5 to go, and I remember physically he made a move that I thought he was about to go up there and win.
Plus, what would be more fitting than him winning his first Cup race at his home track? I mean,
and especially how much what happened this race a year ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean a lot.
Which is why, before you even said it, I was going Bubba as well.
You copycat.
Oh,
You copycat.
No, I hated that you were going before me because I was thinking forever I was going his way.
Oh, we'll see.
Well, at least I know that no matter what happens this weekend, I'll still be 2 points ahead of Danny because we picked the same in both races.
Yeah.
Yep. It just happened a few weeks ago. It was like coming out clean no matter what. So
Not last.
I think it's crazy that, well, I guess we haven't looked at the chat or the guest pick, but like four of us, we aren't picked. I'd say Hamlin, Blaney, those have to be like the obvious favorites.
Hamlin was my
going with them.
brain pick, man.
yeah, I was thinking
Or Logano.
I was thinking Hamlin. Part of me wanted to think that Bowman could go do 2 in a row, but Bubba was pretty much.
Let's not get crazy now. Oh, jeez.
I mean, I picked Eric Jones. That's a crazier pick
Cody
than
Ware.
Bubba Wallace, in my opinion.
Is James Davison racing this weekend?
I don't know, Yolenka.
Who do you have for a guest pick, Claudia?
I'm agreeing with Jarrett's head. That's where I was.
Denny.
I'm
Danny Hamlin.
I don't want that to happen, but
You've already cursed Hamlin now as the guest pick.
Yeah.
I think realistically he's been running well on super speedways and he's done really well this season. So
But-
I think it's his breakthrough time.
As hungry as he is for a win the last few weeks, would he move Bubba out of the way to get the win?
No, because he seems to make the wrong move every time he's in that position.
Yeah, if he doesn't rough up Logano to win a race, how he's not gonna rough up his own car? Oh god.
No.
No, and then he'll
That'd be an
complain
overkill.
about it in the post-race pressers.
Be like, well,
I'm
Bubba,
better than my own car than I own.
Yeah, I'm better. It's like, well, duh, you just started the team. So petty.
I'd
Going
rather
for
be in this
everybody.
position than his. Denny, didn't you provide him this position?
Yeah, but he's just not as good as me.
What's that say about you
Fired.
as a car owner? That's Michael's side of it.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
Chat seems, at least right now, I see a bunch of Matt.
Somebody
Benedetto.
said Benny Parsons. Benny Parsons. I think he's won
Like
there
a
before
bunch
too.
of mixture. I'm seeing the Benedetto. I'm seeing Hamlin. I'm seeing
Well-
Elliott Moose.
Mickey Elliott.
Chase fraudulent.
Chase.
There's
Wow.
like 2 picks for Byron back to back.
I've seen a lot of Busher.
Yeah, I see Byron, Busher.
There
There's
is
a lot of
no
Busher.
clear, concise pick in the chat for once.
Yeah, there isn't. Well, there's Alan Bestwick at least. So there's that.
Misspelled. Very nice.
Yeah.
Disrespect him.
I can't tell. There's
dead.
been a lot of Byrons, but it's the same person a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm seeing some Bushers coming in.
There's the T-Pain, of course. Every week someone puts that.
There's
in.
Blaney. I see
Yeah.
Blaney.
I'm
right
seeing
there.
more
Those
Matty D's from
Colin,
different
Thea
people.
Norfleet, those are in there.
No, these
Yeah.
these Matty D's are from different people though.
Somebody
Yeah,
said.
give it-
Somebody said
Dude.
Joseph Stalin. What the heck?
Dude, yeah, there's probably about 60 million people who wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I saw a lot of De Benedettos, and they're different people. They're
Yeah,
different
give
people
it to
each
De
time.
Benedetto. Why not? That's a fun.
I think
pick.
it's Matty D.
Matty D.
He
There you
almost
go.
won here in
And
the
the-
fall.
Hey, the chat needs to get down to earth a little bit.
Please don't put any more dictatorship in the chat, please. Please leave that alone. Golly.
Next is Mao.
Oh,
Anyway,
oh, God.
we should probably get to the last bit of super chat so we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Episode's a little longer tonight.
I'm sleepy, man. I don't know what's
I'm
wrong.
hungry, bro.
I hope
I'm
these
so
super
hungry.
chats wake me up.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we got here.
Look, everyone yell at Eric.
Yell, Eric,
Eric, wake up!
Hey, Eric!
Wake up!
wake up! Get up your face, put a little makeup. I don't know how the rest of it goes.
Wait, hold on. Wait. What's that song? Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Save me. I'm emo inside. Someone said Kim Jong Un.
This is why we
Alright,
should not be doing a podcast at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
House.
y'all are
Don't
getting,
be a stream.
y'all are going crazy. Y'all going crazy now.
All right, let's get these through here. Let's see. Ryan Moore for $5 says Austin Dillon's All-Star paint scheme got revealed, and the door number is in the traditional spot. Is this a sign of hope for the All-Star race, at least? I'm hoping, though. I am hoping.
Please.
Josh Berry Lawn Care and Bird Feeders for $5 says the final stage shortage sounds like the infamous rule change made pre-Talladega 2015. I don't know just yet because they're not doing it mid-season.
We'll see. We'll see.
Let's Keegan Schneider. Let me see. YouTube does this thing in the studio where it cuts off the super chat a little. So let me see if I can get you. It says,
Here we
I have
go.
my money on Stenhouse Jr. Also, are any of you guys going to be at Dega? I will be there. I will unfortunately not be at Talladega.
I will not be down there. It's if you want to get a ticket, I looked into it because I was just kind of curious about how close I am. It's like $300 each. So nah.
Oh God.
Bush Brothers fan left a $2 super chat, but I can't see what it said. Rowdy18_designs left a poop emoji for 99 cents. I can't see what that super chat says though. And I can't. God, crap. Yeah, I can't see what it says though, thanks to you.
And I can't scroll back to see it.
Same. One more person, leave a super chat for the UFO. That way I can see all of them.
Yeah. Right.
Take one for the team. They're still leaving pics in there.
Dude.
Yeah, oh gosh.
All hail Plankton.
All hail Plankton.
No, seriously, half the damn chat is all hail Plankton.
Oh, I see it. Now I updated it.
Well,
that's fun.
thank you, Bush Brothers fan, for the $2. Unfortunately, I can't see what it is. YouTube's been acting up a bit tonight, so apologies for that.
Dang it, YouTube.
Oh,
why you got
Eric, Josh Berry, Lawn Care, and Bird Feeders left another one for $5. It's probably gonna pop up on. There we go. It says, curse you, Darian! You took my race pick. Oh, the $2 super chat didn't leave any comment. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, that pretty much covers it for tonight. Who are we gonna be on for channels next week? Whose channel are we on next week?
We will be on my channel next week over on DannyBTalks. We will be in the heart of Bowman Nation in Danny B's house.
Nice.
Wow. We are excited.
Is that a dictatorship?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
We're actually going to be having Jared. Who is our guest again? I don't want to get the name wrong.
I believe Isabella Robusto. She's an up and coming driver in NASCAR. I think she's only 16 years old. She's already up through the ranks at a young age.
She's in the
like
diversity program.
Yeah, part of the diversity program. I was about to say. So one of those.
We'll be 2 weeks in a row highlighting some of the up and coming women of NASCAR. So that's nice to highlight a little of the diversity in the sport. So happy to have her on the show with us. Mm-hmm. And we look forward to having all of you over there on Danny B Talks. If you're not subscribed to Danny B Talks, make sure you do that so you don't miss next week's episode.
And really quick, guys, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to the one and only Table Rock Management. Look what they sent me. A whole goodie box too. Says, well, hello there. And then also
General
fun background
Kenobi
and stuff. So really appreciate them. Just signed a 3-year deal. So appreciate them supporting racing content. They're from California, Orange County, I believe. So
Wales,
it's there. So appreciate them supporting.
I think there is a C Road. Oh no, that's San Diego.
Yeah. So I really appreciate them supporting motorsports content creators. It's a great thing to see. Appreciate it, guys.
And then also next week, when we're on Danny's channel, it's a normal time again, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So
back to normal.
Just letting y'all back to normal. A few more ones here. Josh Berry, Lawn Care, Spin the UFO, or no, Spin the Saucer. I like that one. So there we got that. And then Ave10 for $3.50 says hashtag GoFundTree. So
hashtag GoFundTree. So
more
we can
twerk
in yoga pants apparently. So.
All right, and I'm pretty sure people probably heard my computer. But yeah, so I think that about covers it. I got the Dale call at the ready.
Do you have it taped up? You have it taped up though.
Yeah, I taped it up and broke, so I had to tape it up with some like.
The Dale call will survive. It will survive.
I'm gonna have to go on eBay and see if we can find a fully functional, intact Dale call to replace that.
I probably can. I just don't want to like spend freaking $40 on it.
Yeah, gotta save money. Save money, y'all.
All right, let me stretch these legs out, and I'd say we can get on out of here. What do you think?
This was an awesome show, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks you so much to Tony for coming in and joining us tonight as well.
We need to get Eric to bed. He's sleepy.
Yeah, he looks tired. I'm hungry, bro. I'm so hungry. So
all right. Well, let me get back here. Let me start this outro out. Ready?
Yep.
Ready. Later.
Did not break it.
Sounded pretty good.
Goodbye.
Didn't break it.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Next week.
Bye.